Chapter 1460. The patriarch of the Shin family trembled in anger. His face was terrifyingly dark. This was too hateful. A little brat actually dared to contradict him in public? He was courting death. If it were any other time, he would have slapped him to death. But now, he didn't dare to do anything. Because there were 3 challenger-level cultivators on the other side. Din Xian was not included. He gritted his teeth so hard that they almost broke. However, he couldn't agree to let Su Ke kill the patriarch of the Shin family in public. Therefore, the patriarch of the Shin family took a deep breath and said in a low voice, "You guys go out and apologize to him." Hearing this, everyone was extremely shocked. It seemed that the patriarch of the Shin family had given in. They didn't expect Lin Xian to be so powerful that even the patriarch of the Shin family didn't dare to go against him. One was a challenger who had been famous for a long time, and the other was a prodigy of the younger generation. This was a clash between the new generation and the old generation. It was very intense. The patriarch of the Shin family's words made the patriarch of the Shin family bitter. However, they quickly walked out and prepared to apologize to Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian sneered. "Apologize? Do you think it's that simple? The prestige of a challenger-level cultivator is inviolable. Today, they will die without a doubt." After saying that, Lin Xian punched out. The terrifying fist instantly enveloped the Shin family patriarchs. What? He attacked. Everyone felt their scalps go numb. They couldn't believe it. The patriarch of the Shin family patriarchs had already made a big concession by apologizing. It could be said that Lin Xian had earned a lot of reputation today. However, they didn't expect that Su Ke would still attack. He didn't take the Shin family seriously at all. No. The patriarchs of the Shin family patriarchs were terrified. They didn't expect that Su Ke would dare to attack them. "Patriarch, save me." Suddenly, these people trembled and screamed in fear. "Brat, you're courting death." The patriarch of the Shin family was furious. He had already made a concession, something that had never happened in hundreds of years. However, the other party was actually unwilling to let him off, and even dared to attack the elders in front of him. This made him furious. If he were to lose to the other party today, then he would lose all his face. Therefore, in the next moment, the patriarch of the Shin family did not hesitate and also quickly attacked. A gigantic palm blotted out the sky and covered the earth as it grabbed at the few elders, wanting to protect them. The terrifying palm emitted a dazzling light that was as vast as the Milky Way. It quickly enveloped the few elders of the Shin family. However, Lin Xian's fist was incomparably terrifying. It contained a powerful force, and it was as if an angry dragon had come out, bringing with it an incomparably terrifying aura. Boom! In the next moment, he slammed into the giant palm, and a terrifying energy fluctuation erupted, causing the entire world to shake violently. All kinds of light shot into the sky, flickering with an incomparable aura. However, the patriarch of the Shin family was definitely a king tier who had been famous for a long time. His strength was incomparably powerful, far surpassing that of the patriarch of the Duan family. Therefore, Lin Xian's punch did not manage to blow away the giant hand. He blocked it. Seeing this scene, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the patriarch of the Shin family was incomparably powerful. Although Lin Xian was powerful, he was not at the level of defying the natural order of things. However, in the next moment, everyone's expression changed. Because in the giant palm, several screams could be heard one after another. In fact, everyone could even smell the pungent smell of blood that quickly spread out from the giant palm. What? How is this possible? What happened? Everyone was shocked and could not believe it. The patriarch of the Shin family's expression also changed. When he saw that the other party did not blow away his palm, he had a smug look on his face. Because he realized that the other party was not that powerful. At most, the other party could kill the patriarch of the Duan family. However, compared to him, the other party was far from enough. However, he did not expect that there would be an unexpected change. The few elders of the Shen family that he was protecting actually screamed in pain. This was something that he did not expect. Did something happen? The patriarch of the Shen family was surprised and bewildered. In the next moment, he released his palm. The elders that he was protecting had been pierced by the sword chi. There was a bloody hole between their eyebrows, and scarlet blood was trickling out. What? They were all killed! Everyone was shocked and could not believe it. The patriarch of the Shen family's expression also became extremely cold. He was furious. He was too furious. He did not expect that the other party would have such means to kill people even under his protection. This was a slap in the face in front of everyone. And it was a successful slap in the face. The patriarch of the Shen family was trembling with anger. His cold eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian, on the other hand, did not care at all. A king has the dignity of a king. He is not someone that anyone can offend. You know that better than I do. Since the few of them have done something wrong, they will naturally be punished accordingly. I did nothing wrong. If you are unhappy or dissatisfied, you can come and find me. I don't mind going to war with you. Of course, I hope you can think about the consequences. Lin Xian's voice was cold, and there was a strong threat in his words. Hearing that, the patriarch of the Shen family frowned. Indeed, it seemed that the other party's strength was not as good as his. However, the other party had many kings. If they really fought, he would not have the upper hand. Therefore, the patriarch of the Shen family stood there with a gloomy look in his eyes. Finally, he laughed coldly. Good, very good. I've finally witnessed what you're capable of. However, don't be too arrogant. One day, you will fall into my hands. The patriarch of the Shen family snorted coldly, then turned around and left with his people. Sorry for disturbing you. Goodbye. Then Patriarch Murong and the happy king also left with their people. The other sects and forces also said their goodbyes. They did not dare to stay any longer. They had no choice. The scene was too scary, especially for those forces that had publicly supported the Duan family. When they left, their legs were trembling. They were afraid that Lin Xian would be angry and kill them all. Fortunately, Lin Xian did not attack again. In the end, almost everyone left. Only the martial artists of Senmu College, the ninth elder, Murong Qingqing, and the others remained. Young master, is this true? Have you really become a king? The ninth elder, the 10th elder, and the other martial artists in the Divine Palace were very excited. They could not help but be excited. The scene was too shocking. First, he had used extremely powerful means to kill the patriarch of the Duan family. Then, he had destroyed the Duan family. Finally, he had slapped the face of the patriarch of the Shen family in front of everyone. The other kings did not dare to resist at all. Such means could be said to be extraordinary. Perhaps no one would have thought that the banquet held by the patriarch of the Duan family would end up like this. Lin Xian was also curious. He quickly asked, Lin Xian, what is going on? How did you enter the King realm so quickly? They naturally did not know what had happened in the Tianan region, so they were very confused. Chapter 1461. Lin Xian was also curious. He quickly asked, Lin Xian, what's going on? How did you enter the King realm so quickly? They naturally didn't know what had happened in the Tianan region, so they were very confused. Lin Xian only gave a simple explanation. As for the subdivine crystals, he wouldn't tell anyone. Next, he asked the ninth elder and the others to return to Senmu College and bring back the remaining martial artists and elders of the Palace of Gods of War. Because from now on, the Palace of Gods of War was still theirs. Moreover, no one dared to have any ideas about the Palace of Gods of War. Lin Xian and the others also left. Lin Xian turned around and said to Murong Qingqing, You've been away from home for a few years. Go back and take a look. All right. Murong Qingqing nodded. I'll come and find you when I miss you. Murong Qingqing carried nine-tailed beasts and left as well. Luo Bingshan didn't leave and stayed. Lin Xian asked her and a few other Palace of Gods of War elders to clean up the battlefield and the Palace of Gods of War in preparation for the return of the other martial artists. The next few days were very peaceful. The Palace of Gods of War was restored to its original state, and Lin Xian began to recuperate and continue cultivating. Now that the Duan clan had been eliminated by him, he began to prepare to leave the Tianwu continent and head to the real quintessential world. Of course, the most important thing was to find enough energy to operate the Black Earth. Otherwise, he definitely wouldn't be able to leave. He planned to wait for the martial artists of the Palace of Gods of War to return and get them to search for it. After all, it definitely wasn't something that could be found in a day or two. Therefore, he had to borrow the power of the Palace of Gods of War. However, during this period, Lin Xian didn't stay idle. Besides cultivating, he also headed to the depths of the Palace of Gods of War. To be precise, he went to the place where Lin Zhan was in seclusion. He wanted to see if his father had come out of seclusion. The 10,000 Spirits Valley was still as beautiful and quiet as before. A figure quickly landed outside the 1,000 Spirit Valley like a sword. This figure was naturally Lin Xian. This was already his third time here, but he didn't see his father. This made him a little disappointed. However, he still came every few days and cultivated in the periphery of the Myriad Spirits Valley. Originally, he thought that it would be the same as before and that nothing would happen. But this time, it was beyond his expectations. Not long after he arrived, a voice suddenly came from the Myriad Spirit Valley. "Little Xian, you've come." This voice was unusually calm. "Father!" Lin Xian was still sitting cross-legged, but when he heard this voice, he immediately stood up and shouted excitedly. "You've come out of seclusion?" "Not yet. It will take some time. However, I just woke up from my cultivation and found you here," Lin Zhan said in a low voice. After that, the father and son had a long talk. Lin Xian told Lin Zhan everything that had happened in detail. After Lin Zhan heard this, he was also shocked. "I've also explored the Devil Abyss. I didn't expect it to be the burial ground of the 4th-generation successor of the Dragon's Sword. It is indeed rare for you to have such an opportunity. Father, I still have some substandard divinity crystals. How can I give them to you?" "Substandard divinity crystals? How about this? Let's enter the world in your body. Then you can pass them to me through that world." After saying that, the voice was filled with boundless profoundness. Then, Lin Xian felt his mind tremble and the scene around him changed once again. When he recovered, he realized that he had come to the mysterious world in his body again. The purple thunder divine bamboo grew beside him, and there were spiritual herbs all over the ground. There were also 10,000 bee sting beside him. In front of him was a withered tree of God. On the other side of the tree of God was Lin Zhan. Lin Zhan waved his arm, and a golden vortex appeared in front of him. "Little Xian, put the substandard divinity crystals into this vortex, and you can pass them to me. I don't need too many. Just give me 10. "Oh." Lin Xian nodded. He had 30 pieces in his hand. He wanted to give them all to his father, but Lin Zhan only wanted 10 pieces. He had no choice. Soon, he put the 10 pieces of substandard divinity crystals into the golden vortex. Then, the golden vortex spun and enveloped the 10 pieces of substandard divinity crystals. Then, they gradually disappeared. "That's enough." Lin Zhan nodded. "I still have some time before I can come out of seclusion. You don't have to be disappointed. We will reunite one day." Then, he looked at Lin Xian again and said slowly, "You can condense the king domain so early. It is indeed beyond my expectations. Since you have met the 4th-generation successor of the Dragon Sword, you should have a cultivation technique for cultivating the king domain, right?" "Yes, I do have a cultivation technique." Lin Xian nodded. Although the 4th-generation successor of the Dragon Sword was no longer around, He too was still around. He had many cultivation techniques in his hands, and they were all used by the 4th-generation successor. Therefore, Lin Xian didn't lack cultivation techniques for cultivating the king domain. "That's good. Just cultivate the fourth-generation successor's cultivation technique. However, there is one thing. You must continue cultivating the art of longevity. You must not stop. This cultivation technique is more magical than you think. It can support you through the king realm. Also, when your physical body enters the king realm, you can try to enter the world in your body. Here, you'll get unexpected gains. Hearing this, Lin Xian was even more confused. It seemed like his father knew about the art of longevity and the mysterious small sword. Father, what is the grade of the art of longevity? Also, what is the mysterious small sword and the world in my body? You won't understand even if I tell you now. You will know one day. Lin Zhan shook his head slightly. However, I can tell you about the difference of 10 years. Hearing this, Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat. This question had troubled him for a long time because his father had only left home for 5 years. However, it seemed like 15 years had passed in the Tianwu continent. Lin Xian didn't know that there was a difference of 10 years. Now that he heard that his father was going to solve the mystery, he was naturally excited. It is actually very simple. I have only left for 5 years. In other words, I left the Sword Pool Mansion with you, Lin Zhan said in a deep voice. What? You left with me? Then what about the 15 years here? Lin Xian was confused. There is no difference in time between the two continents. I have only been in the Tianwu continent for 5 years. However, if we include now, it should be 8 years. The extra 10 years are actually an illusion. Illusion? What do you mean? Lin Xian was even more confused as he listened. To be exact, the people in the Tianwu continent were affected by the illusion. They thought that 15 years had passed, but in fact, it was only 5 years. What? They were affected by the illusion. Lin Xian was shocked. You are saying that everyone was affected by the illusion? How is that possible? He was too shocked. How many people are there in the Tianwu continent? Billions! So many people, but they were all affected by the illusion. Why did it sound like a myth? Chapter 1462. It should be known that the casting of illusions normally required soul power. What level of soul power did one need to cast the same illusions on billions of people? Furthermore, they still believed in it. Father, how did you do it? Why did you add another 10 years? Lin Zhan sighed. This world is far more magical than you can imagine. I think you should know the general situation of this world. I know about the true spirit world. Lin Xian nodded. Since you know about the true spirit world, then you should also know that the Sky Martial continent is actually an island. In the real big world, it's actually nothing. And that vast true spirit world is extremely magical. It's far beyond your imagination. Therefore, it's not difficult to cast an illusion on everyone on the island. Of course, you still can't understand that method, Lin Zhan said. I'm not as magical as you think. I can create such a huge illusion mainly because of an eye. I once obtained an eye. It's the eye of a certain race on the true spirit continent. This eye has been cultivated to an extremely high level. I don't even need to use any power. I only need to activate it, and I can create an extremely terrifying illusion. I use this illusion to make everyone on the Sky Martial continent think that I've arrived here long ago. As for the reason, it's naturally to integrate with them. Because I need the dragon fountain in the Thousand Spirit Valley, Lin Zhan said slowly. And I could cast an illusion on billions of people. After Lin Xian heard this, his mouth opened wide in disbelief. What kind of eye could be so terrifying? According to what his father said, it was a certain race on the true spirit world. Could the real big world be so terrifying? Lin Xian was extremely shocked. He now knew how the extra 10 years came about. He also knew why Lin Zhuan wanted to extend it by 10 years. However, he had even more doubts. For example, what exactly was that eye? What kind of race was that? Also, why was Lin Zhan in such a hurry to occupy the dragon fountain? Could there be some other secrets? However, Lin Zhan didn't tell him these things. What do you plan to do next? Just as Lin Xian was deep in thought, Lin Zhan asked again. I want to go to the real great world and see how magical it is. Upon hearing Lin Xian's words, Lin Zhan nodded. Indeed, this place is too small. You should go to the real big world to take a look. However, that place is far more dangerous than this place. Although there is almost no danger here, once you reach the real great world, you will likely encounter countless dangers. You have to be mentally prepared for this. I know. Lin Xian nodded. He too had told him about this before. As the successor of the dragon sword, he would definitely receive countless challenges and threats. There were even people who wanted to plot against his great dragon sword soul. These were all within his expectations, but no matter what danger there was, he would still try it. However, Lin Zhan shook his head slightly. Do you still remember why you were chased out of Sword Pool Mansion back then? Do you remember why you can't cultivate? Lin Xian's question was like a clap of thunder. It made Lin Xian extremely shocked. Of course, he wouldn't forget this. Previously, he couldn't cultivate at all. This didn't mean that he was trash. On the contrary, his talent was extremely high. He was definitely a top genius. In the beginning, he was unable to cultivate because he had been sealed. Back then, the spirit meridians in his body were sealed by a black lotus. He couldn't cultivate at all. If it wasn't for that mysterious small sword, he wouldn't even be able to cultivate. However, what did Lin Zhan mean by saying this now? Could it be that the black lotus in his body didn't exist for no reason? Was it specifically targeting him? Thinking about the true spirit continent that he was about to go to, Lin Xian's expression was uncertain. He asked in a deep voice, Father, could it be that the person who sealed me back then is now in the true spirit continent? That's right. He is in that world. Lin Zhan nodded. Hearing this, Lin Xian's expression darkened. Father, who exactly is he? Why did he seal me? He is a very terrifying enemy. You are no match for him now. Even I am no match for him. Lin Zhan said in a deep voice. If I tell you now, it will only add to your troubles. It might even be dangerous. However, I have to remind you that when you enter the real big world, you must be careful of people with the Black Lotus mark. In front of these people, you must not reveal that you have the great dragon sword soul. Otherwise, you will be hunted down endlessly. Try your best to hide your identity. If you are really discovered, you must be killed immediately. You must not let these people spread the news back. Lin Zhan's expression was extremely serious. Obviously, this matter was very troublesome. Lin Xian's expression was also very serious. Although Lin Zhan didn't say much, he could feel the seriousness of this matter and how terrifying that Black Lotus was. Thinking about it, this Black Lotus was also an extremely terrifying existence in the real big world. Don't worry, Father. I will be careful. Lin Xian took a deep breath and nodded seriously. I believe in you. With your talent and the great dragon sword soul, as long as you continue to grow, your future will be limitless. Lin Zhan finally revealed a trace of a smile. However, the path of martial arts is very dangerous. It is extremely difficult. There will definitely be countless difficulties and obstacles on this path. I hope that you will have a firm martial heart and never give up. This is because willpower and confidence are sometimes more important than talent. The father and son talked for a long time. In the end, Lin Zhan's figure disappeared again. Lin Xian also left the mysterious space and returned to the periphery of the Myriad Spirit Valley. Since he knew about his father's situation, there was no need for him to guard here all day. His figure flashed, and he left the Myriad Spirit Valley. In the following days, Lin Xian desperately raised his cultivation level and continuously comprehended the Dragon Sword territory. On the other side, the Ninth Elder and the rest led the remaining warriors and elders of the Palace of Gods of War back to the Palace of Gods of War. When they found out about what happened that day, they were all stunned. None of them dared to believe it. However, when they returned to the Palace of Gods of War and saw the scene here, they finally relaxed. Then, they looked up to the sky and laughed loudly. Excited, too excited. Originally, they thought that they would leave the palace of gods of war forever and never return. However, they didn't expect that not long after, they would return again. Of course, all of this was thanks to Lin Xian. Not only them, but the outside world was also in an uproar. The news of the Duan clan's patriarch being killed swept across the entire Tianwu continent like a gust of wind. Chapter 1463. It couldn't be helped. This matter was too shocking. One had to know that the Duan family's ancestor was a king. Such a person was in existence at the peak. How could he be killed? However, it really happened. Not only was he killed, but he was also killed by a youth in his 20s. When everyone found out about this, their minds were blown. In an instant, Lin Xian's name once again swept across the entire continent. Not only that, the Duan family's destruction, Lin Xian's confrontation with the three kings, as well as slapping the Shen family's ancestor's face in front of everyone, quickly spread. The entire Tianwu continent was in an uproar. This was because every matter was too shocking. It had never happened in hundreds or thousands of years. One had to know that those were all kings. Every one of them was an indomitable expert. However, all of them had suffered at the hands of Lin Xian. This was too inconceivable. Especially when they heard that Lin Xian had instantly summoned two mysterious kings to confront the Shen family's ancestor, Murong family's ancestor, and the happy monarch, everyone's jaws almost dropped. Excluding Dean Xian and Senma College's king, Lin Xian actually had two kings by his side. This was too shocking. Perhaps no faction in the Tianwu continent could contend with him. In an instant, the entire continent was talking about this matter. As for Lin Xian, he began to cultivate crazily. Ever since the Palace of Gods of War's martial artists returned, Lin Xian had sent them out to search for energy. As for the energy requirements, he had asked He Tu before. There was no specific requirement. There was only one, and that was a huge amount of energy. Therefore, Lin Xian mobilized the entire Palace of Gods of War and all its subordinate forces to quickly search the entire Tianwu continent. This was because only by finding enough energy could he leave this place and head to the true spirit world. As for Lin Xian, he went into seclusion to cultivate, putting all his effort into increasing his cultivation. He had already cultivated the Furious Dragon art to the 4th level. Now, his blood chi was vigorous, surpassing that of a half-step king. His sky spill visualization diagram had also reached the 6th level. His soul power had been greatly enhanced. It could be said that if he didn't use the Dragon Sword domain, no one below the king realm was his match. And once he used the Dragon Sword domain, even a 1-star king would not be a match for him. Just like that, Lin Xian went into seclusion and cultivated rapidly. At the same time, in a certain primordial forest of the Tianwu continent, there was a huge canyon. This canyon was tens of thousands of feet deep. There was no one at all, not even demonic beasts. However, at the bottom of this ravine, there was a black silhouette. Like a small mountain, it was burning fiercely and emitted blazing heat. The surroundings were charred black, and not a single blade of grass grew. This strange figure was naturally the heavenly Netherbird. At this moment, there was only one astral chain left on his body. The other 3 had lost their luster and were scattered on the ground. However, the heavenly Netherbird didn't refine the last one. Instead, it suddenly opened its eyes. His pitch-black eyes flickered with scorching flames as they pierced through the void before him. Damned astral chains! How could they be so powerful? Even if I tried my best, I could only refine 3 of them. However, this last one won't be able to stop me. Wait for me to absorb some more energy, then I'll break this last chain. At that time, the entire Tianwu continent will be under my feet. In the next moment, the heavenly Netherbird stood up. The flames on its body flickered as it opened its bloody mouth and sucked. Immediately, the surrounding spiritual chi started to surge and fly towards it. This scene was too terrifying. The heavenly Netherbird was like a peerless demon as it crazily devoured the surrounding spiritual chi. The spiritual chi quickly gathered and formed rivers of spiritual chi that spun towards the heavenly Netherbird. However, the heavenly netherbird was like a bottomless pit as it crazily devoured the spiritual chi. Not long after, the plants in the canyon lost their luster, turned yellow, and finally died. The entire canyon became a wasteland, and the situation was still spreading rapidly. In a primordial forest not far from the canyon, there were two demonic beasts fighting. One of them was a golden ape, and the other was a pitch-black black bear. Both of them had powerful auras, and both had the strength of a 9-star demonic beast general. As they fought, the entire void trembled and parts of the forest collapsed. It was unknown why these two demonic beasts were fighting, but the battle was extremely intense. However, not long after, the two of them stopped and looked into the distance in bewilderment. Then, they revealed a look of horror. This was because the forest in the distance was withering at a speed visible to the naked eye. The trees directly withered and lost their vitality. A ray of gray light, like the scythe of the Grim Reaper, fell everything in its path. As for the gray light, it was rapidly flying toward them. Even though the two demonic beasts had reached the level of a 9-star demonic beast general, and were even more terrifying than a 9th heaven supremacy, they were still trembling. However, at this moment, they began to tremble violently. Deep fear appeared in their eyes. Whoosh! The two demonic beasts no longer cared about fighting. They turned and fled, turning into two shocking rays of light. However, that gray light was even faster. The moment they rose into the air, they were hit by the attack. The two demonic beasts stopped in midair, and then their huge bodies quickly shrank. The golden ape's golden light dimmed rapidly, and its flesh quickly withered. As for the black bear spirit, it was extremely frightened. Its huge body instantly turned into a bag of bones. In the next moment, the two demonic beasts turned into a pile of white bones and fell to the ground. The gray light was still spreading rapidly into the distance. In another part of the forest, a group of martial artists was moving quickly. At the forefront was a young man in a blue shirt. He held a hidden sword in his hand, and he exuded a powerful aura. Beside him was a girl in a pink shirt, who was anxiously looking into the distance. "Sister Fu, don't worry. I'll catch Silver Fox for you. Senior brother, be careful. Silver Fox has reached the level of an 8-star demonic beast general. It's very terrifying." The girl in pink looked concerned. "Don't worry, junior sister. I just made a breakthrough a few days ago and reached the 8th level honorable realm. It's easy to deal with Silver Fox." The man in blue was very confident, and he couldn't help but increase his speed. Silver Fox, who was in front of him, was like a ray of silver light that streaked across the void. However, in the next moment, it stopped in midair. It lifted its furry head and looked into the distance, its expression filled with fear. "Evil beast, where are you running to?" The man in blue was overjoyed when he saw this scene. He held the long sword in his hand and quickly slashed out several blue sword lights. These sword lights surged in the air, forming a huge sword net that enveloped Silver Fox. In the next moment, the Sword King would be able to catch Silver Fox. However, in the next moment, the man in blue was stunned. Chapter 1464. Not only him, but the girl in pink next to him, as well as the warriors behind her, were also stunned. That was because the Silver Fox in front of them instantly withered and turned into a pile of bones. It was as if his energy had been sucked away by something. It was very strange. In the sky, the huge blue sword net dimmed in an instant, and then disappeared. "What?" The blue-robed man was shocked. That was his ultimate move, but it was broken in an instant. Then, his face became gloomy, and he shouted coldly, "Who is it? Come out!" However, no one answered him. In the next moment, the blue-robed man was also stunned. As if he had encountered something terrible, his body instantly sank in. Not only him, but the girl in pink and the warriors behind her also turned into a pile of bones in an instant. In the void, there was an arc of gray light that quickly spread out. This gray light was naturally released by the heavenly netherbird. At this moment, it was crazily devouring the surrounding spiritual energy. Gradually, with the canyon as the center, everything within 1,000 miles was turned into a wasteland. All the trees, monsters, and humans were sucked dry of their spiritual energy and turned into countless bones. In the depths of the canyon, the heavenly netherbird slowly closed its mouth. Suddenly, the terrifying devouring power also quickly disappeared. If I use the normal method to refine the star chain, I'm afraid it will take about a year. But I can't wait any longer, the heavenly netherbird whispered to itself. Then, a fierce light burst out from its eyes. Forget it. Since there's only one chain left, I'll go out and see if there's any powerful energy to replenish. Obviously, the devouring just now did not allow it to recover its full strength. Moreover, that method of absorption was too slow. The heavenly netherbird could not wait, and wanted to go out and take revenge. In the next moment, it flapped its huge wings. Countless flames spread and its huge body quickly left the ground. In the next moment, the heavenly netherbird turned into a black light and disappeared from the canyon. Northwest of the Tianwu continent, there was an extremely majestic mountain range here. It was the territory of the Divine Bird Palace. Since the last time they left the Palace of Gods of War, the people of the Divine Bird Palace had been very low-key. They did not even go out. There was nothing they could do about it. The shock they had received earlier was simply too great. The scene of Lin Xian killing the Duan family's patriarch was like a nightmare that kept circling in their minds, unable to disperse for a long time. They were even afraid that Lin Xian would attack their Divine Bird Palace, so they all gathered here and did not dare to go out. The Palace Lord of the Divine Bird Palace was in seclusion, cultivating with all his might to break through and become a king. This was the only way to ensure the safety of the Divine Bird Palace. However, these people did not know that, at this moment, there was a black figure near the mountain range. It was rapidly approaching. This black figure carried with it a blazing flame aura. It was like a flaming divine bird as it flew rapidly through the sky. This figure was naturally the heavenly netherbird. His dark eyes looked down at the mountains below, and he whispered to himself, "I remember that the Divine Bird Palace seems to be here. I wonder how much of my strength can these 3 vermilion blood birds help me recover?" Thinking of this, he revealed a sinister smile. Then, he flapped his black wings and charged downwards like a bolt of black lightning, tearing the sky apart. In the next moment, he arrived at the mountain range. There were countless palaces and pavilions in front of him. At the center of the palace were 3 majestic palaces. One was a purple palace that was bathed in lightning, while the other was a green palace that was surrounded by wind blades. The last one was a flaming palace. It was like the palace of the fire god, blooming with a blazing light. The 3 vermilion blood birds were also an ancient species. They had 3 heads and 3 attributes: wind, lightning, and fire. The 3 palaces in front corresponded to the 3 heads. It could be said that the 3 palaces were forbidden areas of the Divine Bird Palace. At this moment, the heavenly netherbird looked at the 3 palaces in front of him and snorted coldly. Then, his huge claws grabbed forward. Looking at the 3 palaces in front of him, the heavenly netherbird raised his claws and slowly grabbed forward. The first thing he did was to grab the fiery red palace of flames. The huge claws covered the sky and the earth. They were extremely black, with black flames dancing on them. It was like the claws of a demon god. It was extremely terrifying. When the flaming palace was attacked, it immediately emitted a dazzling light. Flames surrounded the palace as if they were going to burn everything. Humph! The heavenly netherbird snorted disdainfully. Using flames in front of him was courting death. Sure enough, in the next moment, countless black flames shone coldly on the huge palm. Black lines appeared on the claws, and a terrifying heat surged forward. Boom! 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 The 2 flames collided with each other, making a low sound. In the next moment, a hole was torn in the fiery red light screen, and the monstrous red flames became incomparably dim in an instant. In front of the heavenly netherbird, they could not use their strength at all. They were completely suppressed. Seeing this, the heavenly netherbird snorted disdainfully. Then, he waved his claws and grabbed the flaming palace. With a pull, the majestic palace was uprooted from the ground and arrived in front of the heavenly Netherbird. The heavenly Netherbird opened his bloody mouth and sucked hard. Suddenly, a black vortex appeared. The huge palace in front of him was attracted by the black vortex. It quickly shrank and was then sucked into the heavenly Netherbird's stomach. This change immediately attracted the attention of the martial artists of the Divine Bird Palace. Countless martial artists rushed out from the mountains around Viper. When they saw that one of the 3 sacred palaces in the center was missing, their faces changed. That was the shrine in their hearts, an incomparably sacred place. Now that one was missing, it made them feel as if the sky was falling. Damn it, who did this? Get out here! Enemy attack! A powerful person is attacking! Hurry and inform the elders! How dare you come to my Divine Bird Palace? I'll make sure you don't leave! Angry shouts rang out. It was obvious that everyone was furious. However, when they looked up at the sky and saw a huge black figure, they were all stunned. Then, fear appeared in their eyes and their bodies began to tremble. Tian, heavenly Netherbird! Everyone was terrified. They did not expect the heavenly Netherbird to attack. This was a king, and an extremely powerful one at that. The Divine Bird Palace could not resist at all. The elders of the Divine Bird Palace who rushed over were so scared that they peed their pants. Originally, when they heard that their 3 sacred palaces had disappeared, they were so angry that their beards curled up. They decided that no matter who it was, they would kill him. However, when they arrived at the scene and saw the heavenly Netherbird, their legs began to tremble. Chapter 1465. This was a king. How could they fight him? Even if all of them went up together, they would not be able to withstand a single slap from him. Damn it! Everyone, pay attention! Activate the Great Protection Array! At the same time, send someone to inform the Palace Master to come out. Also, send someone to the other House of Kings. The Great Elder of the Divine Bird Palace shouted loudly. His voice spread clearly in all directions. Yes, activate the Great Protection Array! All the warriors were shocked. They went to their respective positions and channeled their spiritual energy. The Great Protection Array was the ultimate array of the Divine Bird Palace. It was used to defend against external enemies. This array had been passed down since ancient times. It was extremely terrifying. No one below the king level could break it. As for the king level, they did not know because no king level had ever attacked the Divine Bird Palace. However, they believed in the power of the Great Protection Array. It could at least resist for a while. During this time, they had already sent someone to inform the Palace Master. Not only that, they had also sent a distress signal to the Shen family, the Murong family, the Merry Forest, and several other House of Kings. As long as a king-level cultivator dared to come, things would be easy. However, they did not know that the heavenly Netherbird had recovered most of its strength. They thought that the heavenly Netherbird was still bound by the starry chains like before. The heavenly Netherbird had caused a ruckus before and was defeated by a king-level cultivator. Therefore, they thought that it would be the same this time. Soon, a mysterious pattern flashed and a terrifying Great Protection Array was activated. It covered the entire mountain range. This was a Great Protection Array passed down from ancient times. It had been perfected by generations of Divine Bird Palace experts. It was extremely powerful. After activating the Great Protection Array, all the warriors of the Divine Bird Palace heaved a sigh of relief. The elders also smiled. Okay, we can hold on for a while. As long as the other kings arrive, we will be safe. The heavenly Netherbird looked down at the Great Protection Array and smiled disdainfully. Although this Great Protection Array was magical, it was nothing in its eyes. If it was trapped by the 4 starry chains like before, it might have taken some effort to break this Great Protection Array. But now, there was only 1 astral chain left on his body, and he had recovered more than half of his strength. Compared to before, it was countless times more terrifying. Therefore, he did not take the protective grand formation below seriously at all. In the next moment, his eyes flickered and black flames spread all over his body. They condensed into a pitch-black claw in front of him and slammed downwards. In an instant, lightning and fire intertwined, and wind and thunder roared. This terrifying claw turned into a black afterimage, accompanied by boundless flames around it. It was abnormally terrifying. In the void, ear-piercing whistling sounds could be heard. The lightning was astonishing, and all sorts of terrifying scenes erupted. This black palm ruthlessly slammed into the protective formation below, immediately erupting with an earth-shattering tremor. The entire mountain range shook violently as if there was a huge earthquake. Damn it! Seeing this scene, the warriors of Divine Bird Palace below changed their expressions, and the elders roared madly. Everyone frantically channeled their spiritual energy to stabilize the formation, but soon, despair appeared in their eyes. This was because no matter how hard they tried, the tremors around them were getting more and more intense. It was to the extent where the ground beneath their feet began to crack apart, producing terrifying sounds. Mountains collapsed, palaces exploded, and countless people turned into a bloody mist in an instant. What? Impossible! Isn't there a defensive formation? How can the energy still be transmitted? At this moment, the faces of countless warriors of Divine Bird Palace changed greatly. They simply could not understand how such a thing could happen. This kind of terrifying method had long surpassed their understanding. However, in the next moment, their faces turned to horror again. This was because the protective formation above their heads was rapidly dimming. Countless cracks appeared on it, like a spider web, instantly covering the entire sky. Caw caw caw! A low sound rang out, and then the entire protective formation shattered like glass. Countless fragments scattered in all directions. Impossible! This is simply impossible! The elders screamed madly. They could not believe that the protective formation had broken. It had shattered in an instant. How could this be? One had to know that this was their protective formation. It had been passed down from ancient times. After being improved by generations of powerhouses, it could be said to be incomparably terrifying. They were even confident that it could withstand the attack of a king. However, now, in the face of the heavenly Netherbird's attack, the protective formation that they were so proud of had shattered. What had shattered was not only the protective formation, but also the hope in their hearts. At this moment, everyone's faces were filled with despair. Many people's faces were ashen. It was over, it was completely over. Without the protective formation, they simply could not withstand the heavenly Netherbird's fury. This entire process did not even take half an hour. Not to mention the other kings, even their palace master had not arrived yet. For a moment, a sense of despair and fear enveloped the warriors of Divine Bird Palace. The heavenly Netherbird looked down at the mountain range below with a ferocious smile. Then, it waved its claws. Suddenly, the bodies of countless warriors below exploded, turning into clouds of blood mist. Seeing this scene, everyone was terrified. The elders' faces changed drastically, and they all fled in all directions. In an instant, rays of light of various colors flew up from the mountain range below, and fled in all directions. Facing the heavenly Netherbird, they did not have any thoughts of fighting back. They only had one thought, and that was to escape. However, in the next moment, they were all in despair. Because it was as if the other party had used magic, their bodies all stopped in midair. It was as if an invisible hand had grabbed them. As a result, they couldn't shake it at all. No, damn it! I don't believe it! The great elder of Divine Bird Palace roared crazily. His body erupted with unparalleled energy, and he even began to burn his spiritual power and blood. However, it was of no use. In the next moment, the heavenly Netherbird's eyes turned, and the warriors' bodies exploded again, turning into clouds of blood mist. The blood mist did not disperse, but rather, it was guided by something and quickly floated in the same direction. That was the heavenly Netherbird. The blood mist condensed in front of the heavenly Netherbird, forming a strange blood rune. This rune was very complicated, and it was formed by countless mysterious lines. At first, it was very dim, but as more and more blood mist was added, the rune gradually lit up with a scarlet light. A mysterious and terrifying power was gradually emitted. Seeing this scene, the heavenly Netherbird smiled. "Stop! Hurry up and stop!" However, at this moment, an angry voice suddenly came from the mountain range below. This voice was very loud, and it directly penetrated the sky. Then, a figure turned into a shocking rainbow and quickly arrived in the sky. Chapter 1466. A figure turned into a long rainbow and arrived in the sky at high speed. It was a middle-aged man with a majestic gait. He had a powerful aura and a pair of purple wings on his back. "Heavenly Netherbird, why did you attack my Divine Bird Palace?" This man was the palace master of the Divine Bird Palace. Seeing his palace destroyed and his disciples killed, he could no longer hold it in and shouted, "Who do you think you are? How dare a lowly ant talk to me like that?" The heavenly Netherbird's eyes were cold. Suddenly the palace master's body trembled, but he still shouted, "Why can't I? You and I are both flying beasts. Even in ancient times, our two races intersected. Why did you attack us? Even if you want energy, you should attack humans." He was indeed crazy because he could see that the heavenly Netherbird was devouring their energy. But he could not understand why the heavenly Netherbird Palace was targeted when there were so many human forces. "Why?" The heavenly Netherbird snorted in disdain. "You lowly ants want to claim kinship with me? If it was the real three-headed crimson blood bird, I might hesitate. But you lowly ants are not worth mentioning." After the heavenly Netherbird finished speaking, it did not bother with them and flicked its finger. Suddenly, the Divine Bird Palace Master's body exploded, turning into a bright red mist of blood. This scene was too shocking. The Palace Master of the Divine Bird Palace was an existence that surpassed the half-step king level. But in front of the heavenly Netherbird, he could not resist at all and was easily killed. This was too unbelievable. Below, the remaining warriors saw this scene and their scalps went numb. They sat on the ground paralyzed. It was over. It was really over. Their palace master had been killed in a single move, so they didn't stand a chance at all. Thinking of this, these people shouted crazily, "Why did you attack us?" However, no one answered them. There was only a pair of invisible hands that crushed them one by one. Tens of thousands of Divine Bird Palace martial practitioners exploded, turning into scarlet blood. The blood did not fall. Instead, it condensed in the sky and floated toward the mysterious rune. This scene was very strange. Countless drops of blood flew, but they didn't drip on the ground. In fact, they even disappeared in the end. Only the pungent smell of blood filled the air. In the blink of an eye, all the martial artists in the entire Divine Bird Palace were killed, and no one escaped. In an instant, the originally majestic palace became fragmented, and the entire mountain range was torn apart. All the martial artists of the Divine Bird Palace were killed, but not a single corpse was left, not even a drop of blood was left. In an instant, the terrifying sixth-grade sect, Divine Bird Palace, was destroyed. Looking at the mysterious rune flashing with scarlet light in the air, the heavenly serene bird revealed a sinister smile. Then, it waved its claw and put away the mysterious rune. However, he once again looked towards the center of the mountain range, at the two remaining majestic halls. One was surrounded by purple lightning, while the other was accompanied by countless wind blades. He didn't let go of these two palaces either. He opened his mouth and sucked, forming a black vortex that sucked the two palaces into his stomach. After doing all this, he flapped his black wings, turned into a black flash, and left this place. Only ruins were left. The Shin family, the House of Kings in the Tianwu continent. Like the Palace of War, the Shin family also occupied a spiritual vein, and it was one of the best spiritual veins in the Tianwu continent. The spiritual qi here was many times denser than the outside world. Therefore, the effect of cultivating here was very good. The entire Shin family was like a fairyland. However, in the Shin family, which was like an immortal palace in the divine realm, there were a few flashes of light. "Who's there?" Stop! Seeing this light, countless cold shouts sounded. Then, dozens of powerful figures appeared in the air. These people were wearing battle armor, holding spears, and emitting a biting cold killing intent. These were the guards of the Shin family. They usually patrolled the foot of the mountain, and once they found any trouble, they would immediately attack. They would never allow enemies to enter the Shin family. Moreover, no one dared to cause trouble. After all, the Shin family was the house of kings. They were extremely powerful. Even if someone came to visit, they would land at the foot of the mountain and conduct a check. They would only let these people in after confirming that it was safe. But now, there was someone who was so bold as to barge in and did not take them seriously at all. Therefore, these people immediately stepped forward to reprimand him. If the other party did not listen, they would attack mercilessly and kill him. Don't attack, it's me. I am the leader of the Shin family's Divine Wind team. In the air, the black figure quickly said, I have an urgent matter to report. Whatever it is, investigate according to the rules. The martial artists guarding the mountain below said coldly, If you are someone else in disguise, we can't let you in. However, the figure above did not stop at all. He just threw down a token and quickly left. At the same time, a voice sounded, I will bear the consequences alone. Seeing that the figure was unwilling to stop, the guards below frowned. Leader, what should we do? Should we activate the defense array and kill him? The leader of the guards was a middle-aged man. At this moment, his expression was cold as he shook his head slightly. No, this token is indeed the leader of the Divine Wind team. It seems that he really has an urgent matter. However, we can't relax. Go to the Shin family to report and confirm it again. Yes. Immediately, a guard quickly left and entered the Shin family to report. The leader of the Divine Wind team flew all the way at an extremely fast speed. He turned into a gray light and quickly shuttled back and forth in the sky. His speed was so fast that it directly caused the sound of wind and thunder. Even the void trembled violently. Below, countless martial artists of the Shin family looked up at the sky with surprise. Because in the family, very few people flew like this. Who is it? How dare he be so bold as to cause wind and thunder? Is it an enemy attack? *MN. What's wrong with the guards below the mountain? Why don't they attack when they see someone coming in? The martial artists of the Shin family were furious. Some of the masters even wanted to attack. However, the figure above quickly said, I am the leader of the Divine Wind team. I have an urgent matter to report. I have no choice but to break the family rules. Whoosh! Whoosh! A few elders of the Shin family appeared in the sky and blocked that person's path. Elder Foam, it's really you. What's the matter? Why are you so urgent? Among them, the third elder of the Shin family asked. Chapter 1467. Swoosh! Swoosh! A few elders of the Shin family appeared in the sky and blocked that person's path. Elder Foam, it's really you. What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? Asked the third elder of the Shin family. Something bad has happened. I want to see the patriarch right now. Elder Foam, the leader of the Divine Wind team, sounded anxious. What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? The patriarch is in seclusion now. Yeah, why don't you leave it to us? Third elder, I'm afraid you can't make the decision on this matter. Elder Foam shook his head quickly and started to transmit his voice to the other elders. What's the matter? Why does he need to transmit his voice? Can't he just say it out loud? The third elder and the others were puzzled. However, in the next moment, they trembled and looked horrified. This was because they had heard a terrifying piece of news. Is your news true? The third elder and the others were bewildered, their faces filled with disbelief. It's true. It's because of this news that I broke the family rules and barged in directly. Now I have to tell the patriarch what I've done. Come, follow me. This time, the third elder and the other elders didn't stop them. Instead, they led Elder Foam into the Shin family quickly. Only a group of Shin family martial artists were left behind. They looked at each other and didn't know what had happened. Dozens of elders gathered in the Shin family hall. These were the core elders of the Shin family. These people gathered together and discussed with solemn expressions. Not long after, an old voice sounded from the main seat in the hall. "Greetings, Patriarch!" When they saw the old figure, all the elders bowed respectfully. The Patriarch of the Shin family nodded slightly, and then looked at the leader of the Divine Wind team, Elder Fong. "What's the matter? Why must I come out of seclusion to know?" After returning from the Palace of Ares, the Patriarch of the Shin family went into seclusion to break through to a higher level. Before he went into seclusion, he had left a message that unless there was an emergency, no one was to disturb him. However, not long after he went into seclusion, he was called out. This made him very unhappy. However, he also knew that these people must have encountered some unsolvable problem. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let him out. Elder Fong took a deep breath and quickly said, "Old ancestor, the Holy Bird Palace has been destroyed." "What?" The Patriarch of the Shin family was stunned. He couldn't believe his ears. "What did you say? The Divine Bird Palace was destroyed?" He was indeed shocked. After all, that was the Divine Bird Palace. It was a 6th-rank sect, and a top one at that. It was second only to the House of Kings. In the Sky Martial continent, he was also an overlord. With such strength, it was already good enough that they did not bully others. How could they have been destroyed? "Tell me everything you know. Don't leave out a single detail," the Patriarch of the Shin family said in a deep voice. "Yes." Elder Fong quickly told him everything he knew. Then, the entire hall fell into silence. Strange, it was too strange. According to Elder Fong, this Divine Bird Palace was exterminated, and no one was able to escape alive. Not only that, the protective array and the entire mountain range had been completely destroyed. Even the 3 sacred palaces of the Divine Bird Palace had disappeared. Moreover, what was even stranger was that there were only fragments of palaces at the scene. There wasn't a single corpse. Not even a drop of blood was left. However, there was a thick smell of blood in the air. This indicated that there was definitely blood flowing. However, there was nothing left. It had to be said that this was too strange. "Is what you said true?" The Patriarch of the Shin family frowned. "Everything is true. I didn't hide anything. Old ancestor, please investigate thoroughly," Elder Fong quickly replied. Regarding this, the Patriarch of the Shin family and the other elders did not suspect anything. After all, Elder Fong was the Shin family's information expert. Moreover, as a member of the Shin family, he was very loyal. It was impossible for him to lie to them. Moreover, this kind of thing could not be deceived. With such a big matter, it wouldn't be long before the entire Sky Martial continent knew about it. Damn it! Who did it? How could they destroy the Divine Bird Palace? How is this possible? This situation is too strange. If the palace master of the Divine Bird Palace was killed, I would believe it. However, the Divine Bird Palace has hundreds of thousands of disciples and countless experts. How could no one escape? This is unbelievable. Yes, not even a corpse can be found. Not only that, there isn't even a drop of blood. What kind of method is this? The group of elders discussed. At this moment, the 3rd elder of the Shin family said in a low voice, "The Divine Bird Palace is already a top 6th-rank sect. To be able to destroy it, it must be at least the House of Kings. There are only a few House of Kings in total. I think it must be one of them who did it." "You mean a king did it?" the 1st elder of the Shin family gasped. "But even a king would not be able to create such a scene." This scene was too strange. Countless experts, but no one escaped. Moreover, there was not a single corpse or drop of blood at the scene. Just thinking about this scene made one's scalp tingle. It was not that they had never seen a king's method, but such a strange scene could not be easily created by a king. If one king could not do it, what if it was 3 kings? 3 kings! Hearing the words of the Patriarch of the Shin family, everyone was stunned. Then, their pupils shrank. "Patriarch, You are talking about Lin Xian. Indeed, if there was anyone who could gather 3 kings in an instant, it could only be Lin Xian. This was because Lin Xian had summoned 2 king-level demonic beasts in an instant at the palace of Ares. In addition, Lin Xian himself had the combat strength of a king level. In the whole continent, only Lin Xian could summon 3 kings in an instant. Perhaps only he could do it. The relationship between the Divine Bird Palace and the Duan family was not hidden. Now that the Duan family was destroyed, the Divine Bird Palace would not be able to escape. Is it really Lin Xian? Everyone was shocked. If this was true, things would be troublesome. If 3 kings joined forces, they could destroy everything. Even the Shen family could not resist. Unless they joined forces with the other house of kings, they could not compete with Lin Xian. What is he trying to do? Damn it, this brat is too arrogant. What can we do? 3 kings are too terrifying. Everyone was discussing, but the patriarch of the Shen family's face was gloomy. Damn this brat, he is too arrogant. What is he trying to do? Revenge? Or unify the whole continent? He could not help but be shocked. For hundreds and thousands of years, the Tianwu continent had been peaceful. Although there were constant conflicts between the major forces, they were only small fights. Basically, no 6th-rank sects were destroyed. Not to mention a top 6th-rank sect like the Divine Bird Palace. Therefore, the patriarch of the Shen family was furious. In the next moment, he stood up and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Lin Xian, you are too arrogant. I don't believe that no one in the world can defeat you. Chapter 1468. The Shen family's patriarch's eyes were filled with killing intent. Lin Xian, you are too arrogant. I don't believe that no one in this world can defeat you. During this period of time, let your people stay here. Don't leave. At the same time, strengthen the defense. If anything happens, immediately activate the defense array. I will make a trip to the Palace of Gods of War. I will be back soon. The Shen family's patriarch instructed. Patriarch, you can't. That's right. That kid has 3 kings. Everyone was worried. The Shen family's patriarch was the pillar of the Shen family. He could not fall. Don't worry. That kid is not that arrogant. I believe that the Murong family and Mary Woods have received the news. I think Patriarch Murong and Mary King will definitely head to the Palace of Gods of War to ask about it. So, this time it will be fine. After giving some instructions, the Shen family's patriarch's body shook and immediately disappeared from the main hall. Then, a bright light lit up in the sky. It was like the Milky Way, instantly piercing through the void. The Shen family's patriarch's guess was right. Not long after, the Murong family and Mary Woods received the same news. Patriarch Murong and Mary King's faces instantly changed. This news was indeed shocking. Patriarch Murong and Mary King both thought of Lin Xian. However, the Murong ancestor knew a little bit more, because Murong Qingqing had already returned home during this time. Nine-Tailed had also returned. Patriarch Murong knew that Nine-Tailed had not left during this period. Therefore, he was very suspicious of this matter. However, he did not hesitate, and immediately headed to the Palace of Gods of War. On the other side, Mary King gave some instructions and also flew up. In an instant, the 3 kings all flew towards the Palace of Gods of War. However, the Shen family's patriarch was the first to move and he was the fastest. Palace of Gods of War. Lin Xian was silently cultivating while waiting for the news of the energy stones. Some time had already passed since the energy stones were found. However, there was no result until now. After all, the energy stones that he needed this time were too large and powerful. This kind of thing was definitely a rare treasure. It was impossible to find it in such a short period of time. Lin Xian knew this, so he waited patiently. However, on this day, the 9th elder hurriedly rushed over with a piece of news. Young master, something big has happened. What is it? Could it be that you've made some progress on the source of the energy? No, it's not the energy source. Elder Jiuzhang shook his head, his face solemn. Young master, the divine bird palace was destroyed. What? They were destroyed? Hearing this, Lin Xian was also extremely surprised. One had to know that that was a top-rank sect. It was incomparably powerful. Moreover, it was their headquarters that was destroyed. The only ones who could do something like this were probably the Qing clans. Moreover, it had to be a large-scale invasion. Which house of kings did it? Why did he attack? Are these things clear? Lin Xian quickly asked. He was too surprised, because he couldn't think of anyone who would attack the Divine Bird Palace. Something big had happened recently, but the destruction of the Duan family was expected. This was because the grudge between the Duan family and Lin Xian wasn't just a matter of 1 or 2 years. Therefore, this was a very normal thing. However, the Divine Bird Palace was different. He didn't hear about any grudges with anyone recently. The only one was their alliance with the Duan family. However, if they were to attack, it should be Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian didn't plan to destroy the Divine Bird Palace. He didn't want to cause such a big war. Moreover, that day in the Palace of Ares, he had warned the Divine Bird Palace. He thought that they wouldn't dare to do anything. However, he didn't expect that not long after, the Divine Bird Palace would be destroyed. I wonder who did it? However, the situation at the Divine Bird Palace is very strange. Tens of thousands of masters were all killed. Hundreds of thousands of disciples were all killed. No one escaped. In fact, there wasn't a single corpse at the scene. There wasn't even a drop of blood. Elder Gio told him everything he knew. What? There's actually such a thing. Hearing this, Lin Xian also frowned. This kind of thing was too strange. He couldn't understand, so he called the Crimson Dragon over and asked them together. After the Crimson Dragon heard this, he also frowned. This kind of thing was too strange. This shouldn't be a normal sect extermination battle. The other party was targeting the warriors of the Divine Bird Palace. Could it be that someone on the continent recently practiced some evil technique? It requires the blood of a strong warrior at the same time. The Divine Bird Palace was destroyed, and there wasn't a drop of blood. This undoubtedly made the Crimson Dragon think of the evil technique that devoured blood. This kind of technique is very terrifying and cruel. If there is really a king secretly practicing it, I'm afraid it will be a disaster for the Sky Martial continent. Hearing the Crimson Dragon's words, Lin Xian's expression became serious. He knew that the matter was urgent, so he hurriedly ordered, Elder Gio, send someone to investigate carefully. You must clarify this matter. Yes, I'll go now. Elder Gio turned and was about to leave. At this moment, a bright light suddenly flashed in the sky. Following that, the entire Palace of Gods of War shook violently as if there was a huge earthquake. Boom! Rumble, rumble, rumble. Countless thunder boomed as a violent energy appeared in the sky, sweeping in all directions. At this moment, countless warriors and elders of the Palace of Gods of War raised their heads to look at the sky. Lin Xian also frowned, and a trace of killing intent appeared in his eyes. Someone actually dared to attack the Palace of Gods of War? They were courting death. A huge energy storm formed above the Palace of Gods of War, and terrifying thunder boomed in all directions. Lin Xian's face was extremely gloomy because he knew that an expert had made a move this time. Fortunately, there was a defensive array. Otherwise, the other party would have directly charged in. This defensive array was different from the previous ones. It was personally modified by the Crimson Dragon and could automatically defend. It could be said that it was very terrifying. It was also because of this automatic defensive formation that the mysterious powerhouse was blocked. The other warriors of the Palace of Gods of War were also shocked. They didn't expect that someone would dare to behave so atrociously in the Palace of Gods of War. This wasn't because they were arrogant, but because they were confident. Ever since Lin Xian killed Patriarch Duan Jia in public and destroyed the Duan family, the Palace of Gods of War's status in the Tianwu continent could be said to have skyrocketed. Even the other House of Kings didn't dare to provoke them. It couldn't be helped. In the entire Tianwu continent, Everyone knew that Lin Xian had 3 kings. And if Din Xian was included, that would be 4 kings. There was even Lin Zhan who had yet to come out of seclusion. If all of them came out, that would be 5 kings. With such a terrifying force, no house of kings dared to provoke them. But now, someone actually dared to barge into the palace of gods of war. Just as everyone was guessing who dared to attack their palace of gods of war, a cold voice suddenly exploded in the sky above. Lin Xian, get out here! Chapter 1469. Just as everyone was guessing who it was that had dared to attack the Ares god of war technique, a cold voice exploded in the sky above them. Lin Xian, get out here! Don't think that you can block my path just because you have a defensive array. If you provoke me, I will destroy the Ares god of war palace. This voice was filled with endless fury. Everyone was in an uproar when they heard this voice. This was because they realized that this voice was filled with the aura of a king. It was obvious that this was a king. On the other hand, Lin Xian's face darkened. Naturally, he could tell whose voice it was. Shen family patriarch, you are courting death. I didn't do anything to you when you tried to attack me last time. I didn't expect that you would dare to come again. Do you really think that I wouldn't dare to kill you? Lin Xian snorted coldly. His body flashed, and he appeared in the sky in an instant. Give me a reason to forgive you. Otherwise, don't even think about going back today. Lin Xian's eyes were gloomy and filled with killing intent. The Shen family patriarch seemed even more furious. He sneered. Kid, don't try to act mysterious in front of me. Let me ask you, did you destroy the Divine Bird Palace? What? Hearing this, everyone was stunned. Even Lin Xian had a stunned look on his face. He hadn't expected that the Shen family patriarch would come for this matter. The martialists below still didn't know about the Divine Bird Palace because this news hadn't spread yet. Therefore, everyone was in an uproar when they heard that the Divine Bird Palace had been destroyed. No way, the Divine Bird Palace was destroyed? What a joke! That is a 6th-rank sect. I'm afraid that only the House of Kings can destroy it. Could it be that the young master really did it? That shouldn't be the case. The young master would definitely inform us if he made a move. But we didn't receive any news at all. Furthermore, the young master didn't even leave the Ares god of war palace during this period. As everyone was discussing this, Lin Xian frowned. Are you out of your mind? Why are you suspecting me? Stop pretending. On this continent, other than you, no one else has such strength. The old ancestor of the Duan clan shouted coldly as he glared at Lin Xian. The others don't have strength. That might not be the case. Your Shen family should at least have the ability to do so. Lin Xian sneered. According to what you said, I can say that it was you who destroyed Divine Bird Palace and then framed me. You! Upon hearing this, the patriarch of the Shen family trembled with anger. To be honest, any house of kings can destroy the Divine Bird Palace. But what's the situation of the Divine Bird Palace now? Not a single corpse, not a single drop of blood. How do you explain the thick smell of blood lingering in the air? This is definitely not something a king can do. You must know that when we discovered this situation, it had only been a short while. Even the smell of blood in the air was enough to make people vomit. It's impossible for a king to accomplish such a feat in such a short amount of time. In the entire Sky Martial continent, only you can unite 2 king-level demonic beasts to accomplish such a feat. Now you're telling me that it wasn't you. How do you expect me to believe you? The patriarch of the Duan clan became more agitated as he spoke. You destroyed the Duan clan because of hatred, but what about the Divine Bird Palace? He just stood on the side of the Duan clan. Just because of this, you destroyed the entire Divine Bird Palace? That's hundreds of thousands of martial artists. How could you do it? To be honest, the patriarch of the Shen family was really angry. Because the destruction of the Duan clan was a cycle of karma. They could not blame anyone else. After all, the Duan clan had wantonly massacred the people of the Palace of Gods of War. However, the Divine Bird Palace and Lin Xian did not have any direct enmity. Even if it was because the other party had helped the Duan clan, the Palace of Gods of War would only take revenge by killing a few elders. Even if they killed the palace master of the Divine Bird Palace, that would be fine. But now, hundreds of thousands of martial artists were all killed. This was definitely an extremely cruel method. Therefore, the patriarch of the Shen family could not stand it. I'll say it one more time. I didn't do it. If I wanted to destroy the Divine Bird Palace, I would have done it when the Duan clan was destroyed. There's no need to wait a second time. If you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do. If it wasn't you, then who was it? Who else on this continent can condense 3 King Realm martial artists in an instant? The patriarch of the Shen family's voice was cold, and he did not back down at all. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and a powerful aura surged from his body. The other party was so aggressive and immediately accused him of such a big crime. Of course, he was unhappy. Moreover, he did things openly and honestly. He would never deny that he killed them. Just like when he destroyed the Duan clan, he would do it in front of all the powerhouses in the world. If he did not kill them, he would not swallow his pride and let others slander him. Neither side was backing down, and it looked like they were about to fight. The atmosphere in the air froze, and a terrifying King Realm aura spread out in all directions. Below, the martial artists of the Palace of Gods of War trembled. The 9th Elder had already ordered people to prepare the defensive array. However, at this moment, 2 more voices rang out. Both of you, calm down. Stop, don't fight. Along with this loud voice, 2 figures appeared in the sky and stopped Lin Xian and the patriarch of the Duan clan. Seeing 2 more figures appear in the sky, everyone's hearts were in their throats. Because 2 more figures had appeared, and they were King Realm martial artists. It was Patriarch Murong and the Happy King. Patriarch Murong and the Happy King appeared and stopped Lin Xian and the Shen family's patriarch. At the same time, they quickly said, "Both of you calm down." "I can't calm down. You 2 came at the right time. Let's take down this brat together. He's too presumptuous. Does he really think he can kill whoever he wants?" The patriarch of the Shen family's voice was ferocious. "You want to fight? You can try." Lin Xian did not back down. He took a step forward, and sword chi surrounded his body. "Both of you calm down." The Happy King quickly stopped them, and Patriarch Murong also pulled the Shen family's patriarch. "Don't fight. This is a little strange. At least I know that the 9-tailed demonic fox has been with the Murong clan all this time. She hasn't left during this period." "What? You're saying that the 9-tailed demonic fox hasn't left?" This time, it was the patriarch of the Shen family's turn to be stunned. He did not expect things to be different from what he had expected. However, he was still very suspicious, so he coldly shouted, "So what? Even if it's him and this 4-legged snake, they can still do it. F***ck, old man, who are you calling a 4-legged snake? Do you believe that Ben Wang won't slap you to death?" The Crimson Dragon was also unhappy. He had shown his divine dragon form in front of everyone, but now, the other party was calling him a 4-legged snake. This made him furious. What made him even angrier was that the other party dared to frame him. Come, old man. Ben Wang will play with you. I'll let you know how powerful Ben Wang is." The Crimson Dragon was so angry that he gritted his teeth and kept clenching his dragon claws. Chapter 1470. Just as the atmosphere became tense again and the 2 kings were about to fight, another sonic boom came from afar. Again? The warriors below were shocked, thinking that it was another king. But what surprised them was that there was no king's aura this time. It was just an ordinary honorable, and a warrior from the Palace of Gods of War. "Young master, bad news!" the honorable shouted as soon as he entered the Palace of Gods of War. But when he saw the 5 honorables above him, his body froze in midair. "What's going on? Is someone attacking the Palace of Gods of War?" "Nothing, we're just discussing something." Lin Xian shook his head slightly, then shot out a gentle light that pulled the Honorable up. Greetings, young master, greetings, kings. The Honorable from the Palace of Gods of War said carefully. To be honest, this was the first time he had seen so many kings gathered together. The aura they emitted made him feel like the sky was falling. Luckily, Lin Xian's light enveloped him. Otherwise, just the aura of a king would have made him unable to stand. What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? Lin Xian asked in a low voice. The Honorable slapped his head and remembered that he had something important to report, so he quickly said, Young master, bad news. Young master, this is bad. The Earth Fire sect has been destroyed. What? This time, the 5 kings in the sky were all stunned. The people from the Palace of Gods of War were also stunned and stood rooted to the ground. The Earth Fire sect has been destroyed? When did this happen? Who did it? The 5 kings quickly asked, and the Honorable quickly told them what he had heard. The Earth Fire sect was also a 6th grade sect. But this time, it had been destroyed as well. Moreover, the situation was similar to the Divine Bird Palace. The entire sect's foundation had been destroyed, and there was a thick smell of blood in the air. But there was not a drop of blood or a corpse in the ruins. It could be said that the strange thing that happened in the Divine Bird Palace had happened again in the Earth Fire sect. Hearing this, Ancestor Murong and the others frowned. Lin Xian snorted coldly and said, What? Do you still think that I was the one who did it? Upon hearing this, the patriarch of the Shen family fell silent. This was because it definitely wasn't Lin Xian. He was here, and the Earth Fire sect was in the distant northwest. It was impossible to destroy the Earth Fire sect and return to the War God Palace in such a short amount of time. In other words, this matter really wasn't done by Lin Xian. I was reckless this time. I apologize for what happened before. The patriarch of the Shen family sighed. Humph! Lin Xian snorted and didn't say anything else. Although he had clarified his relationship with the Palace of Gods of War, this matter was simply too strange. It was obvious that an unknown expert had appeared. Could it be that there are kings in the Martial Heaven continent that we don't know about? Asked Lin Xian. After all, his knowledge of this continent was not as good as the other kings. However, the happy king shook his head slightly. Once one becomes a king, it means that one will become the pinnacle of this continent. It is impossible for such a character to remain dormant for too long. He will definitely stand out. They might even establish a dynasty and family to share this continent. Just like the Duan family. So if there really is a hidden king, it is impossible that we don't know about it. There is another possibility, which is that it is a new king. However, that is even more impossible. In terms of strength, these new kings are a bit weaker than us old kings. Even with our methods, we can't do such a thing, let alone a new king. Hearing this, everyone nodded. Indeed, the happy king was right. Old kings couldn't be dormant for so long, and new kings didn't have such strength. Then who was it that did it? What they were most worried about now was the other party's motive. Was it because of revenge, or something else? If the other party attacked again, who would be the next target? Or did he choose randomly? The kings were thinking so hard that their heads were about to explode. At this moment, the Crimson Dragon spoke in a deep voice. Don't think about it. It shouldn't be revenge. The situation you are talking about must be some kind of evil cultivation technique that specializes in absorbing the blood of martial artists. It's just that he doesn't care about ordinary martial artists, so he specifically chose this kind of rank 6 sect to attack. Damn it, who is he? The Shen family's elder gritted his teeth so hard that they were about to shatter. He had lived for more than 1,000 years, and he had never encountered such a strange thing. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before he attacked the House of Kings. Lin Xian's face was also solemn. He didn't expect to encounter such a thing when he was about to leave Tianwu continent. If he couldn't find the culprit and kill him, even if he found the energy stones now, he wouldn't be able to leave in peace. No, we can't let this continue. We have to find him. Lin Xian's eyes focused. Yes, that's right. We have to find the culprit and kill him. Otherwise, I won't even be able to sleep, the happy king said in a deep voice. The Murong family's elder and the Shin family's elder nodded. Fortunately, when they came out, they had asked the people in their families to open the great defensive array. That kind of array was 10 times stronger than the Divine Bird Palace's great defensive array. Even a king couldn't easily break it. This was also the reason why they dared to come out. Not long after, Din Xian also came. Obviously, he also knew about the situation of the Divine Bird Palace and the Earth Fire sect. The 6 kings entered the War God Palace to discuss. Although they still didn't know who the culprit was, from the current 2 cases, the culprit should be in the northwest. Because the Earth Fire sect and the Divine Bird Palace were in the northwest of Tianwu continent. What other rank 6 sects are there in the northwest? Lin Xian quickly asked. The 9th elder also took out a huge map and placed it in front of the 6 kings. Tianwu continent's martial Dao was very developed, so there were more than 20 rank 6 sects. Just in the northwest, there were 4 rank 6 middle sects. Divine Bird Palace, Earth Fire sect, Embracing Moon Pavilion and Purple Cloud sect. 3 of them, Divine Bird Palace and Earth Fire sect, were destroyed, leaving only Embracing Moon Pavilion and Purple Cloud sect. In other words, the next target of the mysterious culprit was either Embracing Moon Pavilion or Purple Cloud sect. Since we know his next target, what are we waiting for? Let's act quickly, the Shin family's ancestor said. Okay, we 6 kings can be divided into 2 groups, Din Xian said. Old Shin Yu, Old Murong and the Happy King will be in a group and go to the Purple Cloud sect. Lin Xian, the Crimson Dragon and I will go to Embracing Moon Pavilion. With the 3 kings joining forces, we can definitely take down the culprit. Hearing this, Ancestor Murong, Lin Xian, and the others nodded. The Crimson Dragon said in a deep voice, Don't be too optimistic. From the current situation, the culprit seems to be very fast. And he is very strong. He can easily destroy a rank 6 sect. We may not be as fast as him. Chapter 1471. On the side, the Crimson Dragon said, Don't be too optimistic. Judging from the current situation, the opponent seems to be very fast. And he's very strong. He can easily destroy a rank 6 sect. We might not be as fast as him. Hearing this, everyone's faces turned serious. Lin Xian looked at the map in front of him and said slowly, Let's do it this way. But if we find that the Purple Cloud sect and the Moon Pavilion have been destroyed, we'll go to the Golden Blade sect. You'll go to the Wind and Thunder Hall. Lin Xian pointed at the map and said. This was because these 2 rank 6 sects were the closest to the Moon Pavilion and the Purple Cloud sect. Moreover, these 2 sects were not in the northwest region. They were in the central region, but they were closer to the northwest region. This meant that if the opponent wanted to advance to the central continent, the first to bear the brunt would be these 2 rank 6 sects. After coming up with a plan, Lin Xian and the other kings split up. Among them, the Shin family ancestor, Ancestor Murong, and the Happy King were in a group. The 3 of them headed to the Purple Cloud sect. Lin Xian, the Crimson Dragon, and Din Xian were in a group. The 3 of them headed to the Moon Pavilion. Lin Xian waved his hand and took out the spiritual boat from before. Then, the 3 of them boarded the spiritual boat and quickly soared into the sky. After he left, the 9th elder activated the defensive array. Suddenly, the entire mountain range of the Palace of Gods of War was completely covered by the defensive array. Lin Xian was very relieved. These arrays were all modified by the Crimson Dragon. They were extremely strong. Even a king would not be able to break through them in a short time. Moreover, not only were there defensive arrays, but there were also killing arrays. If there was really danger, the 9th elder and the others could control the killing arrays to fight against the enemy. Lin Xian moved quickly. On the other side, the heavenly Netherbird moved quickly as well. He had destroyed 2 rank 6 sects and obtained a large amount of martial artists' blood. This caused the mysterious rune in front of him to shine brightly. A terrifying power was emitted from the crimson rune. Not enough, not enough! It would be great if I could wipe out the two House of Kings. The heavenly Netherbird revealed a sinister smile. However, he only thought about it and did not act on it. Because he still had a star chain on him, he couldn't use all of its power. Moreover, the House of Kings was much more powerful than a rank 6 sect. That defensive formation was much stronger than that of a rank 6 sect. In fact, if a king-level cultivator were to fight him with a peerless killing formation, it would be very difficult for him to gain an advantage. Humph! I'll let you off this time. Wait until I've absorbed enough blood and broken the last astral chain. I'll trample all of you House of Kings under my feet. The heavenly Netherbird sneered and flapped its wings. It turned into a black flash and streaked across the sky. His target this time was another rank 6 sect. Purple Cloud Sect. It was also a rank 6 sect. The entire sect was located in a mountain range called the Purple Mountain. The Purple Mountain was very strange. In terms of height, it was not the highest, but the mountain range was surrounded by purple clouds all year round. Outsiders and demonic beasts could not enter at all, causing the Purple Cloud Sect to be filled with a layer of mystery. Later, a peerless expert of the Purple Cloud Sect used the purple clouds to set up a formation. If an outsider tried to force their way in, they would be lost in it for the rest of their lives. Therefore, outsiders did not dare to casually barge in. Even a half-step king had lost his way in the past. However, at this moment, a huge shadow appeared near the Purple Mountain. This shadow was naturally the heavenly Netherbird. Its black eyes were burning as it looked at the Purple Mountain in front of it. However, the Purple Cloud Sect cultivators in the mountain range were still unaware of the danger. Because until now, the news of the Divine Bird Palace being destroyed had not spread. Only a few House of Kings knew about it. Looking at the mountain range surrounded by purple clouds, the heavenly Netherbird snorted in disdain. Then, the twin wings on its back vibrated and floated in the air. Countless black flames quickly condensed and formed a black fireball in front of it. It was like a black sun, shining with cold light. This black fireball was too terrifying. As soon as it appeared, it displayed an extremely powerful force. Countless black flames burned on its surface. The surrounding space was even more distorted and cracked. In the next moment, the heavenly Netherbird opened its mouth. Suddenly, the black fireball flew out like a meteor. Its target was the Purple Mountain in front of it. The black fireball streaked across the sky, bringing with it endless black flames. Soon, it hit the Purple Mountain in front of it. However, the thick purple clouds this time were not as magical as the legends said. Instead, it was torn apart by a pair of invisible hands like paper. Wherever the black fireball passed, it was like a hot knife through butter. It directly tore apart the purple clouds in the mountain range. Then, it violently blasted towards the Purple Cloud Sect. Rumble! In the next moment, a thunderous explosion sounded. Then, the mountain range in front of it shook violently. Countless mountains collapsed and huge rocks rolled down. The black fireball exploded, forming a boundless energy storm that swept out in all directions. Then, a huge black mushroom cloud quickly rose up. Ah! Many cultivators screamed. Under this energy, their bodies exploded and turned into a bloody mist. They did not even see who the enemy was. As for the bloody mist, it seemed to be attracted by something and gathered in the red rune in front of the heavenly Netherbird. This attack directly destroyed the Purple Cloud Sect in front of it. 80% of the sect's cultivators were also killed. The remaining experts of the Purple Cloud Sect roared crazily. They rushed out crazily, wanting to take revenge. However, when they saw the black mountain-like monster in front of them, they all trembled. The heavenly Netherbird! The experts of the Purple Cloud Sect trembled. Their eyes were filled with fear. They naturally recognized the figure in front of them. It was a peerless beast that shocked the entire Tianwu continent. It had appeared for a period of time before, but it was beaten away. They did not expect it to appear again. A king! This was a true king. And it was incomparably terrifying. The attack just now had directly destroyed the entire Purple Cloud Sect. Now only a few experts were still alive. However, these experts did not dare to take revenge at all. In front of the heavenly netherbird, they did not dare to take action. Therefore, in the next moment, these experts wanted to escape, but the heavenly netherbird did not give them the chance. With a wave of its claws, the experts of the purple cloud sect all exploded into a bloody mist. After absorbing all the blood of the cultivators, the heavenly netherbird flapped its wings and left. In front of it, the destructive energy of the purple mountain gradually dissipated. The purple clouds floated again and slowly enveloped the entire purple mountain. From the outside, it was impossible to see anything strange. Not long after, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard again. Following that, 3 figures appeared near the purple mountain. Chapter 1472. Not long after, there was another sound in the sky. Then, 3 figures appeared near the purple mountain. These 3 people were the ancestor of the Shin family, Ancestor Murong, and the Happy King. When they saw that the purple clouds had returned to normal, they were relieved. "It's okay," the ancestor of the Shin family said. "This purple cloud is a defensive formation of the purple cloud sect. It's very magical. The entire formation is made up of mist that doesn't dissipate all year round. If someone who doesn't know about it walks inside, they won't be able to get out. It seems that they haven't come yet, or they've gone to the moon embracing pavilion," Ancestor Murong said in a low voice. "No matter what, let's go in first and inform the purple cloud sect to get ready." Then, the Happy King sent a message inside, and the 3 of them waited in the void. However, after waiting for a while, they found that there was no movement inside. "What's going on? What are those people from the purple cloud sect doing?" The Happy King frowned, looking unhappy. Ancestor Murong also frowned. "Is there a problem?" The ancestor of the Shin family looked serious. "Forget it. Let's go in and have a look." Then, he waved his hand, and suddenly, a shining hand reached out and tore apart the purple clouds in front of them. Even though this purple mist was a huge formation and was extremely strong, it did not pose much of a threat to a king. Therefore, the Shin family's patriarch and the other 2 quickly passed through the dense purple clouds. Then, they were stunned. The mountain in front of them had been torn apart, and the palace had been destroyed. It was a ruin. Although they couldn't see outside because of the purple clouds, they found that the entire purple cloud sect had been razed to the ground after entering. The ancestor of the Shin family, Ancestor Murong, and the Happy King were shocked. They had only heard about the news of the Divine Bird Palace and the Earth Fire sect, but they hadn't seen it with their own eyes. But now, seeing the state of the purple cloud sect with their own eyes, they were really shocked. Just like the previous news, there was a thick smell of blood in the sky, but the warriors of the purple cloud sect were all gone. There wasn't even a drop of blood on the ground. This situation was really strange. "Damn it, we're still 1 step too late." The old man from the Shin family's face was unusually ferocious. "That murderer is too arrogant. He destroyed 3 rank 6 sects in a row. If this continues, I'm afraid that it won't be long before all the rank 6 sects in the entire Tianwu continent are destroyed." This was something that was hard to believe. "Let's go. Let's hurry to the Wind and Thunder Hall," the Happy King said anxiously. This was something they had discussed long ago. If the purple cloud sect was destroyed, they would immediately head to the Wind Thunder Hall. Thus, in the next moment, the Happy Prince, the Murong clan's ancestor, and the Shin family's ancestor did not hesitate in the slightest. They quickly left the purple cloud church. However, as soon as they stood up, they saw that the purple clouds in the mountain range before them were gathering together. "This is..." The 3 of them were stunned and stopped in their tracks. In front of them, the purple clouds tumbled and formed something similar to a light screen. Then, a blurry image appeared in front of everyone. In the image, there was a huge black figure. It was like a black demonic mountain, and there were boundless black flames burning on its body. Its wings flapped and covered the sky. It was extremely terrifying. Seeing this figure, the Happy Prince and the other 2's pupils shrank, and they cried out in shock. "The heavenly netherbird! That's right. The huge black figure in the image was the heavenly netherbird. In the image, the heavenly netherbird opened its mouth and spat out a black ball of light. It directly flattened the entire purple cloud sect. Then, countless martial artists' bodies split apart and turned into blood mist. All of it gathered on the blood rune in front of the heavenly netherbird. What? All of this was done by the heavenly netherbird. When the three saw this scene, their scalps went numb. They did not expect that the mysterious murderer was actually the heavenly netherbird. That damned beast! The last time he came out to cause trouble, we only managed to chase him away and teach him a lesson. I didn't expect him to be even worse this time. He actually dared to slaughter 3 rank 6 sects. This time, no matter what, we can't let him go. The Shin family's ancestor gritted his teeth. The Murong clan's ancestor was also shocked. I didn't expect that the purple clouds would have a memory function. Luckily, it recorded everything that happened. Otherwise, we wouldn't even know who the murderer was. The happy monarch's expression was also grave. Damn it, this guy seems to have become even stronger. Judging from the attack just now, he's probably much stronger than before. That was indeed the case. The Murong clan's ancestor and the others nodded. Naturally, they noticed this point. The heavenly netherbird's increase in strength was not good news for them. Moreover, it was obvious that the other party was absorbing the blood of these martial artists. He must have cultivated some kind of evil technique. If the other party was able to cultivate it, and his strength increased again, they would not be his match at all. Let's go. Let's hurry to the Wind Thunder Hall and stop him. The three of them did not stay any longer. They turned into streaks of light and disappeared into the void. In another direction, at the moon-embracing pavilion, Lin Xian, Din Xian, and the Crimson Dragon had also rushed over. When they saw the situation at the moon-embracing pavilion, they heaved a sigh of relief. Because the moon-embracing pavilion was still there, nothing had happened. However, Lin Xian and the others did not let down their guard. If it wasn't them, then it would be the Purple Cloud sect. Either way, it was either one of the two or the mysterious murderer had not arrived yet. Therefore, Lin Xian and the others entered the moon-embracing pavilion and told them to tighten their defenses. They also told the moon-embracing pavilion what had happened recently. The pavilion master of the moon-embracing pavilion was a middle-aged woman wearing a blue dress. She had a dignified appearance, with a hint of maturity. When she heard the news, her beautiful face turned pale. She did not expect such a big thing to happen. If it was not for the arrival of Lin Xian and the others, she was afraid that it would have taken a while for her to know. Then what do we do now? The pavilion master of the moon-embracing pavilion asked anxiously. There was no other way. 2 rank 6 sects had already been destroyed. Especially the Divine Bird Palace, which was a top rank 6 sect. Compared to them, it was much stronger. But even so, it was still easily destroyed. If the murderer targeted the moon-embracing pavilion, they would not be able to hold on. But fortunately, now that they had Lin Xian and the other 2 kings, they were not very worried for the time being. However, if these 3 kings left, they would not have any support at all. Don't worry, we have already started to make arrangements. I believe that we should be able to stop the mysterious murderer. If we are safe here, it means that there should be some changes on the Happy King's side. As they were talking, the Crimson Dragon suddenly frowned. With a wave of its dragon claws, a palm-sized jade talisman quickly burned and a low voice came out from it. We have found the mysterious murderer. It is the heavenly netherbird. The Purple Cloud sect has been destroyed. We are heading to the Wind and Thunder Hall. Chapter 1473. With just 2 short sentences, the purple jade talisman was burnt to ashes. This was a sound transmission talisman, used to send messages between martial artists. However, it was very precious and only a few kings possessed it. Hearing this voice, Lin Xian and the others were all stunned. They did not expect that the mysterious killer was the heavenly netherbird. The pavilion master of the moon-embracing pavilion screamed. What? The Purple Cloud sect has also been destroyed. She was too shocked because the Purple Cloud sect and the moon-embracing pavilion were both rank 6 sects. But now, it had also been destroyed. If not for the fact that Lin Xian and the others were kings, the pavilion master of the Blue Moon Pavilion would have thought that the news was a joke. But now, she did not think that way. She knew that this was definitely true. A terrifying disaster was about to befall the Sky Martial continent. Because in a short period of time, 3 rank 6 sects had already been destroyed and this situation was likely to continue. Lin Xian's expression also became serious. Damn it, it's actually the Heavenly Netherbird. Damn, I almost forgot about this guy. The Crimson Dragon's face was also unhappy. Last time, he caused trouble and escaped. Who would have thought that he would come back this time? This time, we must catch him. The Murong ancestor's gaze was also piercingly cold. Indeed, the Heavenly Netherbird was too cruel. If it was allowed to continue, a terrifying disaster would befall the Sky Martial continent. As kings, they could not allow such a thing to happen. Next, they could only wait patiently. Because no one knew who the Heavenly Netherbird's next target would be. However, according to the other party's flight path and their guesses, it would either be the Wind Thunder Hall or the Moon-embracing pavilion. Therefore, Lin Xian and the others did not make a move. The Shen family's ancestor and the other 2 flew as fast as lightning towards the Wind Thunder Hall. However, the situation this time was out of their expectations. Because after the Purple Cloud sect was destroyed, the Heavenly Netherbird did not appear again. The Moon-embracing pavilion and the Wind Thunder Hall were safe and had not been attacked. Lin Xian and the others even waited for a few days, but nothing happened. This made them very suspicious. In order to prevent a worse situation from happening, they couldn't wait any longer, so they prepared to leave. When leaving, Lin Xian instructed the Moon-embracing pavilion's pavilion master to let her bring the disciples under her sect and quickly withdraw. Because no matter what defensive formation they set up, they would not be able to stop the Heavenly Netherbird. It was better to leave with the disciples. As long as the disciples were still alive, there was still hope. The Moon-embracing pavilion master also nodded in agreement. To her, this was the only feasible method at present. Therefore, she hurriedly took action while Lin Xian and the others quickly left. This time, they didn't return to the War God Palace. Before Lin Xian and the others set off, they had already discussed that they would meet in a city at the intersection of the northwest and central regions. Giant Tiger City. Lin Xian's group met up with the Happy King's group. The 6 kings gathered together, their expressions extremely solemn. Then, the Happy King and the others began to carefully inform them of what they knew. Because the previous transmission only gave them a simple reminder, it didn't give them any more details. Lin Xian and the others listened carefully. After they finished listening, their expressions became even more solemn. Because from this information, the Heavenly Netherbird's strength seemed to have become even stronger than before. It could destroy a rank 6 sect with just a wave of its hand. This kind of means had already surpassed any one of them. Perhaps they could only defeat it if they worked together. Damn it, did he break the star chains? Lin Xian's face was cold. What star chains? The Happy King, Ancestor Murong and the others were puzzled. They didn't know what happened to the Heavenly Netherbird before. Therefore, Lin Xian briefly explained what had happened in the remote sky secret realm. When everyone found out that the Heavenly Netherbird had 4 star chains that sealed its strength and was defeated, they were all extremely shocked. They never thought that there would be such a secret. You're saying that the Heavenly Netherbird didn't display its full strength before? The Shen family's ancestors sucked in a breath of cold air. I'm afraid so. The star chains on the Heavenly Netherbird's body are extremely terrifying. They can suppress its cultivation. I'm afraid that its strength has increased greatly because it broke the star chains. But it seems that it hasn't completely broken the chains. Otherwise, it wouldn't have absorbed them. Now that you mention it, I remember that the Heavenly Netherbird seemed to have a chain on its body in the Purple Cloud sect. The Happy King recalled for a moment before he spoke in a deep voice. There's still one more! Lin Xian and the others' expressions were grave. They never thought that this was not the heavenly netherbird's full strength. If it breaks all the seals and recovers its full strength, it will definitely be a disaster for the entire Tianwu continent. Damn it, that guy is too cunning. It won't fight us head-on. It only attacks rank 6 sects. But there are so many rank 6 sects in the entire Tianwu continent. How do we know which one it is? The Tianwu continent is too big. If it hides in any mountain range, we won't be able to find it. The kings shook their heads and sighed. They had no idea what to do now. Lin Xian pondered for a moment before saying, I think I have a way, but it might not work. Let me try. Oh, what method do you have? Ancestor Murong quickly asked. Back in the hidden sky secret realm, I planted a beast slave seal in the heavenly netherbird's body. I wonder if the seal is still there after such a long time? Let me see. Lin Xian closed his eyes and quickly asked. 0. Is the beast slave seal still there? Can you find the heavenly netherbird's location? The beast slave seal you planted has already been destroyed. But according to the beast slave seal, I found a place where the heavenly netherbird often stays. I can tell you where it is. 0's cold voice sounded. Where is it? Tell me. Lin Xian was excited. He found that it might be the heavenly netherbird's nest in the Tianwu continent. 1 sub-divine crystal. 0 did not tell him the location. Instead, it gave him a price. Damn, you're taking advantage of the situation. Lin Xian clenched his teeth. But he had no choice. He could only nod in agreement. Okay, here you go. It's in a big canyon in the northwest. I can give you the specific location. 0 said slowly after obtaining a sub-divine crystal. Lin Xian opened his eyes and said, I can sense the place where it usually stays. But I don't know if it will go there this time. The place where it usually stays is its nest. Most likely he will return there. Ancestor Murong nodded slightly. It doesn't matter. We have to go take a look. The Shin family's ancestor said anxiously. Okay, let's go. Chapter 1474. All right, let's go then. Lin Xian nodded and the 6 of them flew into the sky. They boarded Lin Xian's spiritual boat and quickly flew towards the northwest. Along the way, the 6 of them did not speak and quickly adjusted their state of mind. If they really found the heavenly netherbird, it would be an intense battle. Under 0's guidance, Lin Xian quickly controlled the spiritual boat and flew towards the canyon. Primeval Forest, Grand Canyon. The heavenly netherbird had indeed returned. After killing 3 rank 6 sects, the blood-red rune in front of him shone brightly and was filled with mysterious energy. Therefore, the heavenly netherbird did not continue to attack. Instead, he returned to the canyon and used the mysterious rune's energy to refine the chain of stars. This was a secret technique that could gather a large amount of energy. However, it required a large amount of blood, which could easily be hundreds of thousands of martial artists. This was why the heavenly netherbird had massacred rank 6 sects. There was no other way. The last chain of stars was extremely terrifying and required more energy than the previous 3 combined. If the heavenly netherbird used its own energy to refine it slowly, it would take a lot of time. This was why he used the mysterious rune. He waved his hand and the mysterious rune shone with a demonic light. Streaks of blood-red runes covered the rune. Then, streaks of blood-red light shot out from the runes like a river of blood. They surrounded the heavenly netherbird and quickly refined the last chain of stars. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others were flying at high speed towards the canyon. As soon as they entered the primeval forest, their faces became extremely serious. This was because the primeval forest had already changed. The forest outside was still in good condition. However, the deeper they went, the more they realized that it was no longer a forest, but a ruin. There were countless withered trees and grass everywhere. There was no sign of life. Countless white bones were scattered all over the ground. Most of them belonged to demonic beasts. It was obvious that the spiritual energy of these trees, forests, and demonic beasts had been sucked away. Damn it, this was all done by the heavenly netherbird. It can't be wrong. The Shin family's ancestor looked around coldly. It seems like this is his nest. Ancestor Murong's gaze was also sharp. The other party was too despicable. He had actually turned such a primeval forest into a land of death. If they were left alone, who knew how many more places on the Tianwu continent would suffer? Everyone get ready. He's already very close. He's just below the canyon in front. Lin Xian quickly replied after receiving Zero's reminder. Have we arrived? Upon hearing Lin Xian's warning, the expressions of the happy king and the others became grave, and they secretly circulated their spiritual energy, getting ready to release it at any moment. This time, they had to kill him. The speed of the spirit boat was very fast. It quickly turned into a long rainbow and arrived at the top of the Grand Canyon in no time. Lin Xian waved his hand and put away the spirit boat. The happy king and the others didn't say anything because they had already sensed a powerful evil aura below. Clearly, it belonged to the heavenly netherbird. In the canyon below, the heavenly netherbird also stood up. Its huge body was surrounded by boundless black flames. Its eyes were like lightning, directly piercing through the void. A ferocious look appeared on its huge head. Damn humans, you actually chased after us. Since that's the case, I can only kill all of you. The heavenly netherbird coldly snorted. It then flapped its wings and turned into a black torrent as it quickly rushed upwards. In the sky, Ancestor Murong said in a deep voice. Everyone pay attention. He has already rushed up. Before he finished speaking, he saw a black ray of light, like a meteor, fiercely colliding with the six of them. Bang! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The huge black figure directly collided with the six of them, causing an earth-shattering collision. The entire void exploded, forming a pitch-black hole. A torrent of energy swept across the heavens and earth. This was too violent, and it directly pushed Lin Xian and the other kings back. In an instant, Lin Xian activated his starry sky armor and quickly retreated. Countless sword chi surged out from his body and wildly slashed forward, destroying the terrifying energy. The others also used their own methods to stabilize themselves. Then, the six of them looked forward. Indeed, there was a huge figure there. It was the heavenly netherbird. Damn beast, it's really you. You actually dared to destroy so many rank 6X. Today will be the day you die. You are too presumptuous. The Tianwu continent is not a place where you can behave atrociously. At this moment, the happy lord, Shin family's ancestor, Ancestor Murong and the others all shouted coldly. Their bodies emitted terrifying energy. Their gazes were like sharp swords that pierced through the void as they stared at the heavenly netherbird. The heavenly netherbird smiled disdainfully. Its pitch-black eyes swept across the six of them. Although it was facing six kings, it did not show any fear. It seemed that after refining the 3 starry chains, its strength had greatly increased, and its confidence had also increased. In the past, it would have turned and fled when facing so many kings. However, now that it had broken the 3 starry chains, it was no longer afraid of anyone. However, in the next moment, its gaze stopped on a figure. Then, the mocking smile on its face disappeared, and it nodded its head ferociously. Damn brat, it's actually you! That's right, the heavenly netherbird was staring at Lin Xian. Its eyes flashed with incomparable killing intent. To be honest, it was shocked. It did not expect that it would be familiar with one of the 6 figures. The heavenly netherbird would never forget Lin Xian for the rest of its life. Previously, in the remote sky secret realm, Lin Xian had ruthlessly suppressed it. Although Lin Xian had borrowed Seng Song's strength, the heavenly netherbird could not tolerate it. What was even more despicable was that Lin Xian had planted a beast slave seal in its body in order to subdue it. It could not tolerate it any longer. Therefore, for the past few years, it had always had one goal, which was to capture Lin Xian and kill him. Originally, it had wanted to wait until it had broken the last starry chain before going on a killing spree to find Lin Xian. However, it did not expect that Lin Xian would take the initiative to come knocking on its door. Brat, I originally wanted to find you. I did not expect you to take the initiative to come knocking on my door. Since this is the case, I will not let you go. Even if you kneel down and beg for mercy, it is impossible. I will let you have a taste of the cruelest punishment in this world." The heavenly Netherbird's voice was ferocious, and its eyes flashed with a terrifying light. Lin Xian also snorted coldly. His gaze was focused, and like a shocking sword light, he charged forward. Boom! Boom! The two gazes collided in the air, and there was a metallic sound. Then, the entire void trembled violently, and many black cracks appeared in the surroundings. If there were other martial artists present, their jaws would have dropped because the auras of these two people were too powerful. Just their gazes alone had surpassed all the honorables. What? The strength of a king! The heavenly Netherbird was shocked. It stared at Lin Xian with murderous intent in its eyes. Chapter 1475. What? The strength of a king! The heavenly Netherbird was shocked. It stared at Lin Xian with killing intent surging in its eyes. Impossible! It's only been a few years and you've already become a king? To be honest, it was indeed shocked. The last time it saw Lin Xian, he was only at the 8th level of the Venerable Realm. However, it had only been 2 or 3 years, and he had already become so powerful? His strength was definitely at the King Realm. But how was this possible? One had to know that it wasn't so easy to break through to the King Realm. Although it knew that some young geniuses could become kings at a young age, that was in the real true spirit world. It wasn't in the martial sky continent. How could there be such peerless geniuses in such a remote place? Even if there were 1 or 2 with terrifying talent, they couldn't keep up with the resources. How could they break through to the King Realm at such a young age? Therefore, the heavenly Nether Bird was extremely shocked when it saw Lin Xian's strength. Humph, kid, I don't care how you entered the King Realm. With your strength, you're still an ant in front of me. The heavenly Nether Bird's voice was cold, and its eyes were filled with killing intent. In the next moment, countless black flames flew out and formed 2 black spears that stabbed towards Lin Xian. The spears were condensed from 9 nether black flames and were extremely terrifying. The black spears pierced through the void and formed 2 pitch-black holes. Then, they stabbed forward in a violent and invincible manner. In the blink of an eye, they arrived before Lin Xian. In the next moment, Lin Xian's hair stood on end. This aura was too terrifying. The heavenly Nether Bird was a peerless beast that had entered the King Realm a long time ago. It could be said to be extremely terrifying. It wasn't that Lin Xian hadn't fought kings before. For example, the Duan clan's ancestor and the Black Dragon sect's leader were both kings. However, their auras combined couldn't compare to the heavenly Nether Bird. It could be said that the gap between kings was extremely huge. However, Lin Xian wouldn't just sit there and wait for death. He immediately released the dragon sword domain. Countless sword chi revolved around him and formed a green sword net that enveloped him. Clang! In the next moment, the 2 black spears collided with the green sword net, creating an earth-shattering sound that reverberated in all directions. Immediately, the ground below cracked, and dozens of black cracks appeared in the sky, quickly spreading in all directions. This attack was too terrifying. Even though Lin Xian used the dragon sword domain, he was still knocked back. Bang, bang, bang! He retreated continuously, stepping on the void, directly creating black holes in the void, flickering indeterminately. Humph, and die! The heavenly Netherbird snorted in disdain. On the other hand, Lin Xian's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Then, the dragon inside his body roared and let out a loud dragon roar. A huge green dragon quickly flew out from the dragon sword domain and roared as it rushed in all directions. Lin Xian waved both of his hands. A true dragon coiled around his palms and quickly grabbed forward. 1. The next moment, he grabbed the 2 black spears. Suddenly, black flames spread on the 2 black spears, about to burn them. However, black flames also surged out from Lin Xian's body. The 2 flames collided in the air, creating a blazing light. Terrifying heat surged like a volcano, causing the entire void to tremble violently. With a shake of his arms, Lin Xian directly grabbed the two spears and threw them into the sky. His body finally stopped at this moment. This process seemed complicated, but it happened in an instant. When the happy king and the others reacted, Lin Xian had already sent the two black spears flying. What? He actually blocked it! The heavenly Netherbird was shocked and could not believe it. One had to know that he had recovered more than half of his strength, and was no longer in his previous state. Especially the two black spears just now, they were extremely terrifying. An ordinary one-star king would not be able to withstand them at all. However, it was obvious that his opponent had just condensed the king domain, but he was still able to block them. This was too shocking for him. Seeing this, the others also heaved a sigh of relief. To be honest, the heavenly Netherbird's previous attack had also shocked them. They thought that Lin Xian might not be able to block it, but they did not expect Lin Xian to block it. Damn it, this guy's strength is much stronger than before. Everyone, let's attack together and kill it quickly. Ancestor Murong shouted coldly, then quickly attacked. A long purple saber appeared in his hand, shining with a brilliant light. In the next moment, a shocking saber light lit up, and a purple rainbow instantly flew out. This saber was too terrifying, and a vast power surged in all directions. Accompanied by the purple saber light, countless lightning bolts fell from the sky. This saber directly slashed towards the heavenly Netherbird. The Shin family's ancestor also roared and waved his fists. Golden runes appeared on his body and spread rapidly. They were like the sun, shining with a brilliant light. The happy king also snorted coldly and pointed his finger. Suddenly, the surrounding wind blew, and the terrifying finger light was like a vast galaxy, intertwined with countless lightning bolts, and instantly flew forward. Ding Xian waved her hand, and a white jade-like hand appeared, as if it could easily tear the entire sky apart. The crimson dragon roared and let out a loud dragon roar. He waved his dragon claws, and suddenly, two red wind blades appeared from his hands, forming a cross-shaped saber light that quickly surged forward. Everywhere it passed, the void was quickly shattered. Lin Xian held the great dragon's sword soul in his hand, and his entire body emitted a terrifying sword light. When the sword slashed out, it was as if a giant dragon had crossed the sky. The aura was extremely powerful, and the sword light was abnormally sharp. The six kings attacked at the same time, and their terrifying attacks all enveloped the heavenly Netherbird. Get lost! The heavenly Netherbird roared, and suddenly, endless black flames formed around him. This was his 9 underworlds' black flame domain. In an instant, the endless black flames burned fiercely, releasing an extremely powerful heat wave. The heavenly Netherbird also pulled out a 9 underworlds demon sword from the 9 underworlds demon flame domain, and slashed in all directions. The terrifying black sword light flashed, and it constantly cut through the sky. In the next moment, an astonishing amount of energy exploded in the sky. Because the two sides' attacks collided, the aura was too terrifying, and the sky was instantly annihilated, emitting a dazzling light. Humph! Ants, you want to suppress me with just this little bit of strength? What a joke! In the void, the heavenly Netherbird let out a sinister laugh. What? He's actually fine! The Shin family's patriarch was shocked. Damn it, how is this possible? The happy king's face was also ugly. The other kings also had grave expressions. This was far beyond their expectations. One had to know that they were 6 kings, and when the 6 kings joined forces, they could sweep through everything. In the Tianwu continent, no one was their match. But now, even with their combined attacks, they could not do anything to the heavenly Netherbird. It had to be said that this was really shocking. Chapter 1476. Damn it, I don't believe it! Destroy! The Shin family's patriarch roared as he formed a king's domain around him. In the next moment, he was like a god of war as he waved his fist and punched towards the heavenly Netherbird. That fist carried a blazing light, as if a golden flame was burning, emitting a power that made people's hearts palpitate. The heavenly netherbird snorted in disdain as it raised its claws and clawed forward. Their palms collided and tens of thousands of rays of light shot out. A terrifying aura was released and the shockwaves caused the surrounding mountains to explode. At the same time, a purple king's domain appeared beside Patriarch Murom. It was filled with killing intent as it descended from the sky. The purple king's domain was formed by countless rays of light. It was like a sword domain and was extremely sharp. The purple long saber slid across the air and slashed down fiercely. However, the heavenly netherbird flapped its wings like a black blade and quickly blocked the attack. Clang! Another earth-shattering sound rang out, causing the entire void to boil once again. In an instant, the 6 kings and the heavenly netherbird were fighting. Terrifying energy filled the area. However, the more they fought, the more shocked they became. The heavenly netherbird was too terrifying. It could actually block the combined attacks of the 6 of them. Moreover, it seemed to be getting stronger as it fought. This wasn't good news for them. From the looks of it, the heavenly netherbird strength far exceeded theirs. This was under the condition that the heavenly netherbird was suppressed by the starlight chain. If the last starlight chain was removed, the heavenly netherbird would regain its full strength. At that time, the 6 of them would not be able to suppress the heavenly netherbird. At the thought of this, a hint of determination appeared in the eyes of Lin Xian and the others. No matter what. This time, they had to kill the heavenly netherbird. They could not give it any chance to escape. Dragon Sword Domain, Azure Dragon goes to sea! Lin Xian roared as his black hair fluttered. The Dragon Sword Domain around him shone brightly. Then, the entire Dragon Sword Domain trembled as countless rays of sword chi gathered and formed numerous azure dragons. Each azure dragon was extremely terrifying. They were as thick as a mountain and as heavy as 10,000 pieces of gold. They crushed the space as they charged towards the heavenly netherbird. Pung pung pung! The heavenly netherbird used its 9 serenities domain to block the attack. In the next instant, all the black flames on its body began to tremble, and its enormous body began to retreat for the first time. Damn it, that's impossible! How can this kid be so strong? The heavenly netherbird was also shocked because it realized that Lin Xian's power was too strange. In terms of cultivation, Lin Xian was not the strongest, but his battle prowess made his heart go cold. That kind of combat prowess seemed to be heaven-defying. He could not believe it at all. Seeing that the heavenly netherbird was pushed back, the Shen family's ancestor, the happy monarch, and the others were overjoyed. They also quickly used their consummate skills and ruthlessly attacked the heavenly netherbird. Purple God's Descent! Ancestor Murong shouted. Purple light surrounded his body, making him look like a celestial being. The purple domain around him was also emitting light. Then, purple figures appeared one after another, sitting cross-legged in the void. These people were very devout, constantly chanting some mysterious syllables. These voices were very strange. It did not sound like a modern language, but it was very rhythmic. At this moment, there were 10 purple figures sitting cross-legged in all directions, chanting rapidly. Mysterious sound waves surged out and covered the sky, forming a very strange power. The heavenly netherbird was the first to bear the brunt. Its heart trembled, and the blood in its body began to churn. Even the black flames on its body began to dim. Damn it, what kind of power is this? The heavenly netherbbird's face changed again. It realized that it had underestimated the 6 kings. With a roar, the heavenly netherbird raised its ferocious head and shouted, 9 Serenity's Domain, Omnidirectional Demonic Seal! Suddenly, the 9 Serenity's domain around it began to burn rapidly. Countless black flames surged, forming countless black demonic claws that covered all directions. These demonic claws were very terrifying. Each of them was incomparably black. Black flames danced on them, and they easily tore through the void. In an instant, the sky and the earth were filled with these black demonic claws. It quickly blasted towards the 10 purple figures in the surroundings. Bang! 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 A terrifying explosion sounded out. The 10 purple figures in the sky were blasted apart by the countless black demonic claws. However, at this moment, the Shin family's patriarch attacked again. A golden god of war flew out from the Shin family's king's domain and quickly attacked the heavenly netherbird. The golden figure waved its fist. Suddenly, a golden light shot into the sky, illuminating the entire sky. The surrounding void quickly collapsed. This fist was too terrifying. It carried an indomitable aura. It was like a sun that crossed the sky. Destroy! The heavenly netherbird was furious. It waved the 9 Serenity's demonic sword, which carried countless black flames, and drew out an incomparably black sword chi. Dang! Instantly, the terrifying black sword chi collided with the golden fist, causing an explosion once again. The terrifying power of the collision forced the heavenly netherbird to retreat again. The Shin family's patriarch was sent flying by this power. However, it did not matter. The happy king attacked again. These kings cooperated very well. They did not give the heavenly netherbird a chance. One lotus moves the 9 heavens! The happy king's blue king's domain trembled. Suddenly, countless blue lotuses flew out. These lotuses quickly grew in the sky. They were like mountains as they pressed down. Each lotus was stronger than the previous one. In the end, 9 lotuses danced in the sky. They were like 9 ancient demonic mountains that pressed down quickly. Suddenly, the void collapsed. Terrifying explosions sounded out, causing people's blood to boil. This scene was too terrifying. The 9 lotuses crushed the void. It was as if they were going to crush the heavenly netherbird into a bloody mist. The heavenly netherbird opened its bloody mouth and spat out a small black tower. Suddenly, the small black tower floated in the sky above its head. Thousands of rays of light shone down, protecting its huge body. Bang! 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 The 9 lotuses came one after another, carrying millions of kilograms of weight. Shockwaves rolled out like a surging river. The entire world was trembling. The surrounding mountains had been razed to the ground. Countless large cracks appeared below. It could be said that this ancient forest had been torn apart by them. You ants, you want to kill me? Laughable! The heavenly netherbird let out a ferocious cry. The 9 underworld demonic sword in its hand swept out in all directions. Stupid bird, what do you have to be so arrogant about? Watch Ben Wang slap you to death! The crimson dragon snorted. The other party's attitude was too arrogant. They did not even put him in their eyes. One had to know that he was an Eastern dragon god. In terms of bloodline, he was even stronger than the heavenly netherbird. Indeed, in the next moment, the crimson dragon moved. The dragon claws kept waving, forming 2 red true dragon phantoms that quickly charged forward. Chapter 1477. The 2 red dragons instantly grew to hundreds of feet long and filled up the void. The roar was like thunder from the 9 heavens. Its huge body was filled with boundless energy. The 2 red dragon shadows quickly soared into the sky and slammed into the black light screen in front of the heavenly netherbird. Suddenly, the light screen emitted cracking sounds. In the next moment, the boundless black light screen shattered. The small black tower on top of the heavenly netherbirds head shook as if it was about to break. What? That's impossible! The heavenly netherbirds' face changed. It did not expect the other party to be able to break through its defense. Before it could react, the 2 red dragon shadows slammed into its body and sent it flying. Boom! The heavenly netherbirds' huge body was sent flying and smashed into the ground, forming a terrifying crater. At this moment, Lin Xian made his move again. The dragon sword's spiritual domain beside him rumbled and released an incomparable amount of energy. All of this energy surged into Lin Xian's body. Suddenly, countless streams of light revolved around Lin Xian's body and a terrifying amount of energy was emitted from his body. That energy made the Shin family's ancestor, the Happy King, and the other king's eyelids twitch. Because this power was simply too shocking, even they felt a sense of trepidation. In front of Lin Xian, a dragon-shaped sword shadow appeared. The radiance in all directions seemed to be able to crush the entire sky. Boom, boom, boom! In the next moment, Lin Xian held the dragon-shaped sword Shadow in his hand and quickly slashed it out. Suddenly, a shocking sword radiance slashed through the void and slashed downwards. The sword radiance slashed downwards. On the other hand, the heavenly netherbird roared and quickly counterattacked. Lin Xian roared as well. His black hair fluttered in the wind. Sword chi surrounded his body as he charged downwards like a sword god. Below, the heavenly netherbird crawled out from the huge crater. Its body was covered in black flames. It opened its bloody mouth and a black ball of light quickly formed. In the next moment, the black ball of light quickly blasted into the sky. The black flames danced and streaked across the void, carrying with them an extremely terrifying energy that caused the entire sky to tremble. This black ball of light was too terrifying. Not long ago, the heavenly nether bird used this move to destroy the purple cloud sect. And now, he was using the same trick to deal with Lin Xian. If he was hit, it would be unimaginable. Lin Xian's expression was ice cold. He held the dragon-shaped sword in his hand and quickly slashed down. He didn't hold back in the slightest. Rumble! In the next moment, a terrifying sound rang out as the two of them collided, creating an earth-shattering sound. Not only that, with the two of them as the center, a huge energy storm quickly swept out in all directions. The earth rumbled and the sky collapsed. The terrifying energy was like a tidal wave, crashing in all directions. The black ball of light was quickly split in half by the dragon-shaped sword Shadow. Then, the dragon-shaped sword shone with an incomparably bright light and let out a deep dragon roar as it viciously slashed at the heavenly netherbird. Pun! In the next moment, blood splattered everywhere, and black feathers scattered. The heavenly netherbird's huge body was sent flying once again. Not only that, but a terrifying sword wound appeared on his body. This scene was too terrifying. The mountain-like heavenly netherbird was sent flying, leaving behind a large cloud of blood. "Ah, damn it, I'm going to kill you!" The heavenly netherbird roared in anger. He had never suffered such a loss at the hands of a human before. Moreover, the other party was only a 20-year-old brat. This was unbearable. In the next moment, he flapped his wings and stopped. Black flames danced around his body as he tried to heal his wound and counterattack. But soon, he was stunned. This was because he realized that the sword wound on his body couldn't heal in a short period of time. Not only that, but it seemed to be getting worse. "What's going on?" The heavenly netherbird was shocked. One had to know that even if it was an attack from a king, with his physique and bloodline power, he could quickly heal. As long as it wasn't a fatal blow. But now, he couldn't heal the sword wound on his body. It wasn't a fatal blow. The heavenly netherbird was furious. He once again mobilized the bloodline power in his body and the black flames on his body and rushed towards the sword wound. But in the next moment, he failed. Although he could heal the wound, the speed was very slow. Moreover, this was under the condition that he used all his strength. "Damn brat, what's going on?" The heavenly netherbird roared. He had never encountered such a strange situation. Even when he fought with old Taoist Seng Song, nothing like this had happened. However, Lin Xian snorted coldly. His great dragon sword soul was an offensive saint art between heaven and earth. The dragon-shaped sword Shadow carried boundless sword will. Even a king wouldn't be able to easily destroy that sword chi. It was normal that the heavenly netherbird couldn't heal his wound. In the next moment, Lin Xian held his sword and strode over again. Beside him, the other 5 kings also attacked, quickly attacking the heavenly netherbird. Seeing this, the heavenly netherbird roared in anger. "Damn it!" However, he didn't fight back. Instead, he rose from the ground and fled into the distance. "Brat, I'll spare your life this time. The next time we meet, I'll kill all of you. The entire Tianwu continent will submit to me." As he spoke, he turned into a ray of black light and shot into the distance. "Not good, he's trying to escape." The Shen family's ancestor's face changed drastically. "Hurry up and stop him. We can't let him escape." Ancestor Murong also shouted coldly. Purple chi floated around his body, forming countless large hands that grabbed forward. They had no choice. The heavenly Netherbird was too terrifying. Now, the 6 of them had to work together to injure him. If he broke the last starry chain and recovered to his peak state, the 6 of them might not be able to fight him. Therefore, they had to stop him. At this moment, Lin Xian and the other 5 didn't hesitate. They attacked with all their strength to kill the heavenly Netherbird. However, the heavenly Netherbird was determined to escape. Therefore, he didn't hesitate to activate his bloodline power and even burn the spiritual energy in his body. He turned into a black shadow and disappeared into the sky. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it, he still escaped. Ancestor Murong and the others were anxious. Lin Xian's heart was also heavy. If they let him escape this time, it would be difficult to kill him in the future. Therefore, they didn't give up and chased after him. However, in the end, they still couldn't catch up to the heavenly Netherbird. The heavenly Netherbird was like a shooting star. It was extremely fast. Lin Xian and the others couldn't believe it. Lin Xian and the others flew with all their strength. Even the Shin family's ancestor couldn't catch up with him even after burning his spiritual energy. Ah! Damn it! The Shin family's ancestor roared to the sky. The happy monarch and the others looked grave. They had lost their best chance. The next time they wanted to kill the heavenly Netherbird, it wouldn't be so easy. Chapter 1478. Lin Xian and the other kings returned without any success. However, a gust of wind blew across the Tianwu continent. This was because the news that the Divine Bird Palace, the Earth Fire sect, and the Purple Cloud sect had been destroyed had finally spread. This news shook the entire Tianwu continent. Shock, incomparable shock. No one dared to believe it because it was too inconceivable. But in the end, the House of Kings came out and confirmed the authenticity of the news. Instantly, everyone's head exploded. One must know that those were 3 rank 6 sects. They were the strongest forces besides the House of Kings. But now, they were destroyed. And 3 of them were destroyed at once. Who the hell did it? Could it be one of the House of Kings? Everyone was shocked and guessed. Because as far as they were concerned, only a king clan was capable of annihilating a rank 6 sect. But this result was out of their expectations because they heard that the heavenly Netherbird had appeared again. And these 3 rank 6 sects were destroyed by the heavenly Netherbird. What? The heavenly Netherbird! Hearing this news, everyone was shocked. They knew about the existence of the heavenly Netherbird because a few years ago, the heavenly Netherbird had caused a huge ruckus. But that time, it was chased away by a king. Who would have thought that the heavenly Netherbird would appear again? Not only that, but it also brutally massacred 3 rank 6 sects. In an instant, the world was in a panic. Especially the remaining rank 6 sects, they all sought the protection of the House of Kings. Because from the current situation, the heavenly Netherbird seemed to only attack rank 6 sects. If that was the case, then the remaining rank 6 sects were in danger. Lin Xian, Din Xian, Shin family's ancestor, and the other kings discussed and decided to come out together and command the entire Tianwu continent to fight against the heavenly Netherbird. There was no other way. This time, the 6 of them worked together and barely injured the heavenly Netherbird. But they still let the heavenly Netherbird escape. The next time the heavenly Netherbird appeared, it would definitely be in peak condition. And at that time, whether or not they could defeat the heavenly Netherbird was still unknown. So now, they had to gather the strength of the entire continent. But although the situation was bad, they still had hope. This was because the 9-tailed demon fox hadn't made a move yet. Other than that, there was still Lin Zhan. Although he hadn't come out of seclusion yet, he might come out very soon. Of course, this was the opinion of the patriarch of the Shin family and the Happy King, but the Crimson Dragon didn't think so. Judging from the previous situation, that fellow's cultivation has already reached the level of a 2-star king. This is still not his peak strength. On our side, all of us are 1-star kings, and the best is only at the late stage of 1 star. If we allow him to recover his full strength and engage in a battle of life and death, we have no chance of winning. What? A 2-star king? Ancestor Murong, the happy king, and the others were shocked. Even though some of them were over 1,000 years old while some had entered the king realm for a few hundred years, all of them were first-star kings without exception and hadn't broken through. Even though the heavenly Netherbird was being suppressed, it was still a 2-star king. Who knew how terrifying he would be when he removed the last astral chain? There was only one thing that they were certain of. If the other party was at his peak state, none of them would be able to resist. Then what do we do? Ancestor Murong and the others had gloomy expressions. Won't sub-god crystals work? Lin Xian also asked. He wanted to use sub-god crystals to increase the cultivation of the 6 people. Although sub-god crystals are miraculous and can indeed increase the cultivation of a king, the amount of sub-god crystals needed to go from 1 star to 2 stars is an astronomical figure. The amount you have isn't enough at all. You can't even make a breakthrough for one person. The Crimson Dragon shook his head. If Ben Huang was at his peak, how could it be so troublesome? The Crimson Dragon gritted his teeth. Obviously, he had already surpassed the 2-star king when he was at his peak. But now that he had lost the dragon origin, he was only a 1-star king. Even if he had many secret techniques, it would still be difficult to fight against the heavenly Netherbird at his peak. Since we can't do it with strength, then we'll make up for it with numbers. Including Nine-Tailed, we have 7 kings in total, Lin Xian said. Rosalong, hurry up and create some king-killing formations. The House of Kings will be in charge of providing the materials. Then, find some elite half-step kings and let them control the formations. This way, we should be able to fight against the 1-star king. Hearing this, the Crimson Dragon sighed. It seems like that's the only thing we can do. The Shin family's ancestor, Happy King, and the others all nodded. They knew how serious the matter was, and they couldn't hide it any longer. Moreover, they knew that this period of time was safe. Because the heavenly Netherbird would definitely use all its strength to refine the starry chains and wouldn't have time to take revenge. And they could use this period of time to set up their defenses. Since they had finished discussing, the 6 kings went back to make their own arrangements. Of course, they also joined hands to make an announcement to the entire Sky Martial continent. The content of the announcement was about the heavenly Netherbird's situation and the dangers of the Sky Martial continent. They also called for the heroes of the world to gather together and fight against the heavenly Netherbird. With a single announcement, the whole world moved. They didn't think that the matter would be so serious that even the 6 kings couldn't do anything about it. At that moment, everyone's hearts were heavy and their scalps were numb. Originally, they thought that as long as the House of Kings joined hands, they would be fine. But now, it seemed that things weren't that simple. If it was that simple, these kings wouldn't have joined hands to make the announcement and gathered the heroes of the world to fight against the heavenly Netherbird. The entire Sky Martial continent was in a heated discussion. Everyone was extremely nervous. After Lin Xian and the others returned, they started to mobilize all their resources. They were fighting against the heavenly Netherbird. War God Palace, Murong family, Shin family, Happy Forest, Senma College, and the other House of Kings all moved quickly. They quickly gathered a large amount of resources and provided them to the Crimson Dragon so that he could set up the King's Killing Array. Not only that, they also sent out their own array masters to help the Crimson Dragon. Other than that, the top experts of the various rank 6 sects were also gathered together for a discussion. In a short period of time, the top forces of the Sky Martial continent were all mobilized. After gathering enough materials, Din Xian, Happy King, and the others gathered together again. This time, Ancestor Murong even brought Nine-Tailed. A total of 7 kings were gathered together. Other than that, there were also the elders of the House of Kings, the patriarchs and elders of the rank 6 sects, as well as other half-step kings. In short, most of the top experts of the Sky Martial continent were gathered together. Chapter 1479. Due to the geographical location, everyone was gathered in the Palace of Gods of War. In the most glorious hall of the Palace of Gods of War. At this moment, it was filled with countless experts. At the front was Lin Xian, the Happy King, and the other kings. The hall was very noisy as everyone was discussing. Is the heavenly Netherbird really that strong? No way! Wasn't it beaten away by the kings last time? How did it become so strong again? Who knows? The heavenly Netherbird is an ancient demonic beast and is very scary. Maybe it has mutated. All the experts were discussing because they knew the situation was urgent. However, they did not know how scary the heavenly Netherbird was. In front, Ancestor Murong, the Shin family's ancestor, the Happy King, Lin Xian, and the others were also discussing quickly. Ancestor Murong said, Lin Xian, this is your Palace of Gods of War, so you should preside over this meeting. The other emperors nodded their heads too. Although Lin Xian was still young, his combat strength was not inferior to theirs. In fact, he was even stronger. Moreover, this was the Palace of Gods of War. As the young master, Lin Xian's reputation was very high. Therefore, he was the most suitable person to preside over this meeting. All right, then I won't hold back. Lin Xian nodded his head seriously. He knew the situation was urgent, so he did not hold back. Then, he took a step forward, looked down, and said in a clear voice, I know everyone has a lot of doubts, and I know you're wondering if I'm making a big deal out of nothing. Let me show you something first. After you see it, I think you'll understand everything. Below, countless experts quieted down and listened to Lin Xian's speech. Then, Lin Xian waved his hand. Suddenly, purple fog spread out and formed a huge light screen in the sky. This fog was naturally the fog outside the purple cloud sect. However, Lin Xian had taken a part of it. Because the scene of the heavenly Netherbird destroying the purple cloud sect was recorded by the purple mist, Lin Xian took it away. At this moment, he took it out and showed it to the powerful beings in the palace. What is that? Everyone was puzzled as they looked up. However, they quickly calmed down. The fog in the sky churned and gradually condensed into pictures. Then, a huge figure as black as ink appeared on the screen. That's the heavenly Netherbird! Everyone exclaimed when they saw this figure. The scene inside? Isn't this the purple cloud sect? Someone recognized the mountain range and immediately cried out in alarm. No one answered them, but in the next moment, the scene changed rapidly. The heavenly Netherbird condensed a black ball of light and blasted forward. Instantly, the entire purple cloud sect was razed to the ground. What? It was destroyed in an instant! Everyone's eyes widened in disbelief. Many of them were pale and their legs were trembling. Shocking, it was simply too shocking. Because in their imagination, even if the heavenly Netherbird destroyed 3 rank 6 sects, it would have taken a lot of effort to do so. But now, they knew how laughable their idea was. One attack, just one attack, and the heavenly Netherbird destroyed the purple cloud sect. This terrifying method was something that even the kings present could not do. Is this real? I'm not dreaming, right? Damn it, how can the heavenly Netherbird be so powerful? Has it surpassed the king realm? Exclamations of surprise rang out. Everyone was shocked, and the sect masters and elders of the rank 6 sects were pale. According to the situation on the screen, if the heavenly Netherbird attacked any of the rank 6 sects, it would easily succeed. And they would have no power to resist. The elders of the House of Kings also widened their eyes in disbelief. This was because they knew the power of a king realm. Even their own ancestors could not do such a thing. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they simply could not believe it. Lin Xian continued. Everyone, now you understand why I've gathered all of you here, right? This is only one of the scenes that you saw. After that, the 6 of us worked together to find the heavenly Netherbird and engaged in a fierce battle with it. At this moment, everyone was silent. They pricked up their ears and listened carefully. Lin Xian continued. The 6 of us gave it our all and fought with the sky Netherbird. In the end, we managed to injure it. However, it managed to escape. Hearing this, everyone was confused. 6 kings working together to injure the heavenly netherbird. Wasn't this a good thing? This meant that the heavenly netherbird could not compete with the 6 kings. If it dared to come again, wouldn't the 6 kings be finished? This was what everyone was confused about. But then, they understood. Lin Xian continued. Although we injured the heavenly netherbird, it escaped in the end. Furthermore, this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that the heavenly netherbird was not at its peak. There was a mysterious chain on its body that suppressed its cultivation. What? It was not at its peak? Hearing this, everyone was shocked. It destroyed a rank 6 sect in one strike and fought against 6 kings alone. Such heaven-defying battle strength was not at its peak. If that was the case, the heavenly netherbird was too terrifying. The heavenly netherbird slaughtered 3 rank 6 sects to use the blood of those hundreds of thousands of cultivators to refine the astral chain on its body. Once it succeeds, it will return to its peak state. At that time, even if we work together, we will not be its match. That was why everyone was gathered here to defend together. Hearing this, everyone's scalps went numb. They could not believe that the situation was so serious. Even the 6 kings working together were not its match. What realm has the heavenly netherbird reached? Has it surpassed the kings? An old voice sounded from the crowd. Everyone turned around and saw a familiar figure. It was an old man with an ancient sword on his back. He was tall and straight, and his eyes were sharp. The Sword Sovereign. As a top-rank 6 sect, the deity Sword Villa would not be absent. The question just now was asked by the Sword Sovereign. Yeah, what realm is it at? How can it be so terrifying? Everyone else spoke out. Because the heavenly netherbird strength had exceeded their understanding. Let me explain. The Crimson Dragon stood out. Let me explain the King realm to you. Hearing this, everyone quieted down and listened carefully. The King realm was too mysterious. There were only a few kings in the Tianwu continent, and they could not be seen normally. Therefore, the King realm was extremely mysterious. Chapter 1480. The King realm is also divided into 9 stages, from 1 star to 9-star king. Every stage will have earth-shattering changes. It can be said that the gap between each stage is extremely huge, far beyond your imagination. All the kings here are 1-star kings, and the heavenly netherbird was a 2-star king back then, and that was when it was suppressed. If it had removed the restriction, it would very likely be a late-stage 2-star king. What? Everyone gasped in shock. They didn't expect the King realm to be divided into 9 stages, and everyone here was only a 1-star king. But the heavenly netherbird was already a 2-star king, and it might even be stronger. Is the gap really that big? An elder asked with a trembling voice. The Crimson Dragon shook its head. Let's put it this way. Do you remember the Duan clan's ancestor? He had just entered the King Crystal realm, and to be exact, he was an early-stage 1-star king. Lin Xian was also a 1-star king, but what happened in the end? He was killed so easily. And this is only the gap between 1-star kings. Can you imagine the gap between 1-star kings and 2-star kings? If the heavenly netherbird recovered to its peak state, it could easily kill any of the kings here. Even if the 7 of us work together, we only have a 20% chance. What? Only 20%? Hearing this, everyone felt their scalps go numb, and despair appeared in many people's eyes. However, you don't have to worry too much. We've gathered you here to discuss countermeasures. Next, we'll create some peerless killing formations. These formations are very powerful, and they're equivalent to 1-star kings. As long as we create a few more king-killing formations, we can work together and attack together. At that time, we might be able to kill the heavenly netherbird. What? King-killing formation? There's such a killing formation? Everyone was shocked. Even the array masters opened their mouths in disbelief. A killing formation that was comparable to 1-star kings? How heaven-defying must one be to create such a formation? These array masters were simply too shocked, because they had never heard of such a powerful killing array. However, After confirming that this was true, they looked at the Crimson Dragon, who was emitting scarlet light like a rabbit. Excitement, he was really too excited. These array grandmasters had spent their entire lives researching array formations, to the point of obsession. Now that they had heard of such a powerful king-killing formation, how could they let it go? These array masters decided that after the meeting was over, they had to participate in the creation of the killing array. They absolutely could not miss this opportunity. The following matter was very simple. The Crimson Dragon was responsible for the king's killing array, and the array masters were all around him at this moment, following him to create the king's killing array. The others didn't stay idle either, because the Crimson Dragon also took out some combination martial arts. These combined martial arts were extremely powerful. At this moment, they were being used by the leaders of the rank 6X, as well as the peerless experts, to train together. He hoped that it would be of use in the future battles. Next, everyone began to get busy. The Crimson Dragon and a group of array masters quickly set up the king-killing array. Even Lin Xian joined in. The patriarch of the Shen family, the Happy King, and the other kings were instructing the martial artists and half-step kings from the 6th grade sex, helping them to complete the formation quickly. It could be said that these people were the peak experts of the Tianwu continent. If they failed, then the Tianwu continent would really be finished. Therefore, these experts also knew that and cultivated with all their might. Just like that, a month passed. During this month, all the martial artists of the Tianwu continent were anxious. This was because they were worried that the heavenly Netherbird would attack at any moment. However, after a month, the heavenly Netherbird did not appear at all, which made everyone sigh in relief. Some people even guessed that the heavenly Netherbird might not appear again. However, 5 days later, news came from the northwest direction that the heavenly Netherbird had appeared again. This time, it was extremely violent and had directly destroyed dozens of rank 5 sections. Moreover, it was extremely violent and was rapidly charging towards the center of the Tianwu continent. What? It appeared again! Hearing this news, everyone was shocked once again. Immediately, countless cultivators rushed towards the various sovereign clans as if they had gone mad, seeking protection. This was because at this time, only the House of Kings could protect them. Even the rank 6 sects could not protect themselves. The news of the heavenly Netherbird's appearance was like a plague, quickly spreading everywhere. Not long after, it had spread throughout the Tianwu continent. Lin Xian and the others also received the news. Immediately, the other kings, half-step kings and peerless experts in the War God Palace became nervous. Because this was a crucial moment. If they won, then everything would go smoothly. If they lost, then the Tianwu continent would suffer an unimaginable disaster. In other words, the future of the Tianwu continent was in their hands. Lin Xian, how many kings killing arrays have you completed? Dean Xian and Ancestor Murong hurriedly flew over to ask. Time was too tight. We only completed 3. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Indeed, to complete 3 kings killing arrays in a month's time was already very good. After all, every king's killing array wanted to be a 1-star king for a short period of time. 3 is already quite a lot. Ancestor Murong nodded. They had 7 kings and 3 kings killing arrays, which was equivalent to 10 1-star kings. They should be able to contend against the heavenly Netherbird. Since you're ready, then let's go! Ancestor Murong said in a deep voice. That beast has already started to cause trouble everywhere. All right. Lin Xian nodded. Then, the kings gathered together and gathered all the peak experts. Everyone, no matter how much we don't want to believe it, this moment has finally arrived. Although Lin Xian was young, his voice was extremely firm. The success or failure of this battle not only concerns our lives, but also the safety of the entire continent. If we win, then everything will be fine. But if we lose, then the Tianwu continent will become hell. Therefore, we can't lose this battle. At the end, Lin Xian clenched his fists and became extremely emotional. A terrifying aura surged from his body. Believe in us, we will definitely succeed. No matter if it's for us, for the people of the Tianwu continent, for our clansmen, families, relatives and future generations. Everyone, draw your swords! Let's fight together! With a clang, Lin Xian drew his Lone Star sword and pointed it to the sky. Kill! At the same time, the other 6 kings also shouted loudly. A terrifying aura filled the sky. Kill! In the square below, countless peak experts shouted together. Everyone was extremely emotional. A terrifying killing aura surged from their bodies and connected with each other in the sky. It formed a pitch-black cloud. Kill! For ourselves. Kill! For our clansmen. Kill! For the common people. Terrifying voices rang out in the sky, shaking the heavens and the earth. Chapter 1481. Then, Lin Xian took the lead and rose from the ground. He turned into a beam of sword light and rushed into the sky. Behind him, the 6 kings also soared into the sky. In the next instant, countless peerless experts and sect elders all soared into the sky and followed the 7 kings. At this moment, their blood was boiling. At this moment, their fighting spirit was soaring. These people were the peak martial artists of the Tianwu continent. Now that they were gathered together, they were like a sharp sword as they soared through the sky toward the heavenly Netherbird. As for the remaining elders and martial artists, they were not idle either. They joined forces with the House of Kings, the rank 6X, and the heroes of the world. They moved together, bringing the martial artists of the small sects and ordinary citizens to a safe place to protect them. Of course, the Tianwu continent was too big and had too many people. They were unable to protect everyone and could only do their best. However, the House of Kings also released news that the 7 kings and countless experts were killing the enemy. They told them to wait quietly and confidently. What? The 7 kings and countless experts are going to kill the heavenly Netherbird? Is that true? That's great! Not only that, I heard that there are 3 peerless killing formations. It's like having 3 more kings. What? Is that true? 10 kings will definitely be able to kill the heavenly Netherbird. At this moment, all the martial artists of the Tianwu continent received this news. They all clenched their fists, extremely excited. Because they believed that this battle would definitely be successful. Everyone calmed down and waited for the news of victory. On the other side, Lin Xian, the Happy King, and the other peerless experts were chasing after the heavenly Netherbird. This time, Tian was especially arrogant. He did not hide his tracks at all. Thus, they easily found the other party's tracks and were rushing over with all their might. In the end, the 2 sides met. The heavenly Netherbird was incomparably terrifying. Its entire body was covered in flames, releasing a scorching heat. When its eyes opened and closed, they contained a monstrous pressure. There were no longer any chains binding its body. It was clear that it had successfully recovered to its peak. Although Lin Xian and the others had expected this, seeing it with their own eyes still made their hearts heavy. Because the peak of the compassion of heaven was absolutely terrifying. Looking at Lin Xian's group of 7 in front of it, and the human warriors behind it, the heavenly Netherbird laughed with disdain. Lowly ants, you dare to stop me? The heavenly Netherbird sneered in disdain. Since you're here to die, I'll fulfill your wish. At the end of his words, Heaven Yuqing coldly snorted. Suddenly, the black flames on his body surged into the sky, and an incomparably terrifying aura swept through the world. This aura was too terrifying, causing the peerless experts behind Lin Xian to tremble as if they were about to fall from the sky. Humph! Seeing this scene, Lin Xian and the other kings also snorted coldly. Powerful auras surged from their bodies as they blocked the heavenly Netherbird. The other king realm cultivators made their moves. Their auras were as deep as the ocean, connecting together and firmly blocking in front of the crowd. Immediately, the martial artists behind him heaved a sigh of relief. If it weren't for these 7 kings, they probably wouldn't even be able to resist the heavenly Netherbird's aura. Is this the heavenly Netherbird? It's really strong! In the crowd, the Sword Honorable clenched his fists as his body trembled. His eyes shone brightly. To be honest, he was too excited. Becoming a king realm cultivator was his life's goal. Although he had no hope of achieving it in this lifetime, at the last moment, he could fight against such a peerless demonic beast. Even if he died, he would have no regrets. There's another king realm cultivator. No wonder you dared to cause trouble for me. However, with your little strength, you're nothing in front of me. The heavenly netherbird snorted coldly. Then, the void trembled as a black claw reached out. The black claw was like a demonic claw from hell. It pierced through the void and quickly grabbed at Lin Xian and the others. This aura was too terrifying. As soon as it appeared, it covered the sky like a dark cloud. It brought with it terrifying black flames as it quickly slammed down. Boom! Suddenly, the void collapsed, creating a terrifying scene. Attack! Lin Xian snorted coldly. Suddenly, his body emitted a blinding light. A sharp sword she shot into the sky as if it wanted to cut through the sky. Along with it, countless lightning bolts fell in all directions. This terrifying sword she shocked everyone. Then, the 6 kings beside him roared together and quickly counterattacked. Behind them, the peerless sovereigns also moved quickly. Among them, Lin Xian's body was quickly covered with the starry sky armor. His body emitted a blue light as he stood in the void. Around him, the dragon's sword domain was formed. It emitted a bright light, making him look like a god of war. Beside him, Ancestor Murong, the Shin family's ancestor, the Happy King, and the others also activated their king domains. Behind them, 9 half-stepped kings roared and activated 3 king-killing arrays. They also rushed over quickly. As for the remaining exalteds, they rapidly retreated and flew in all directions. They didn't run away. Instead, they stood in a specific position and formed a strange array. If one looked down from the sky, they would see that it was an 8-star array. It completely enveloped the heavenly netherbird, Lin Xian, and the others. In the next moment, Lin Xian moved. With a clang, the lone star sword was unsheathed. It drew a bright light in the void and illuminated the surroundings. He slashed out with his long sword and pointed it at the heavenly netherbird. His battle intent surged and stirred up the clouds. A streak of sword she shot out, transforming into a shocking rainbow that rolled over. This sword was too terrifying. Along with the power of the dragon sword domain, it was like a vast blue ocean that filled the void. The terrifying sword she quickly slashed out and enveloped the heavenly netherbird. At the same time, the other 6 kings beside him quickly attacked at the same time. Beams of dazzling light blasted forward. 10 purple figures flew in the void like gods and demons. They charged toward the heavenly netherbird. On the other side, a golden giant rose from the ground. It was as if he wanted to crush the heavens and earth. He waved his golden fist. Bright light shone in all directions as he charged forward. 3 red dragon shadows rushed into the sky. They were hundreds of feet long and overturned rivers and seas. 9 blue lotuses flew out. They were like demonic mountains, each stronger than the last. They quickly pressed down. Lin Xian also attacked mercilessly. A jade-white palm pierced through the void and slammed toward the heavenly netherbird. At the same time, 9 tails also moved. The 9 tails behind him danced and turned into 9 blood-red arms. They bared their fangs and claws and covered the sky. At this moment, the 7 kings showed their unparalleled power. They all used their ultimate skills to attack the heavenly netherbird. A bunch of ants. Die! The heavenly netherbird roared. Flames burned all over his body. Beside him, the 9 serenities domain quickly appeared. The 9 serenities domain contained extremely terrifying black flames that rapidly churned and formed countless black killing swords. Chapter 1482. In the next moment, the 9 serenities domain shook, and countless black swords flew out like a rain of light, stabbing toward Lin Xian and the others. Countless attacks collided in the air, creating a terrifying explosion. Vast amounts of energy swept out in all directions, causing the void to collapse. It was too terrifying. Without the suppression of the star chains, the heavenly Netherbird had returned to his peak state. Powerful! He was fighting against 7 kings alone, and he wasn't at a disadvantage. Even Lin Xian and the others were forced back by the black killing swords. What? How can he be so strong? The surrounding martial artists were shocked by this scene. This further stimulated the killing intent in their hearts. Then, these people shouted to the sky and quickly activated the formation. As for the 9 half-step kings, they activated their peerless killing array and charged toward the sky Netherbird. The array was extremely terrifying. At this moment, it was activated and emitted a bright light. Streaks of terrifying killing intent pierced through the heavens and earth. Terrifying sword chi spread out for 3,000 miles and quickly enveloped the heavenly Netherbird. Boom! Boom! The void trembled as the 3 king killing arrays displayed their extremely powerful battle strength. The sword chi was like a ray of light as it quickly slashed toward the heavenly Netherbird. The heavenly Netherbird sneered and waved its claws. Suddenly, the 9 Serenity's demonic sword swept out. Black flames intertwined as the pitch-black sword chi surged in the void like a river, blocking all the attacks of the 3 killing arrays. What? So strong! The 9 half-step kings were in the array. This was their first time fighting with a king, and they were extremely shocked. Especially the black flames. Although they were separated by the king-killing arrays, they still felt a sense of fear. It was as if they would be burned to ashes at any moment. This energy was too terrifying, and they had no choice but to quickly retreat. The 3 king-killing arrays formed a triangle and quickly retreated like shooting stars. Want to leave? The heavenly Netherbird sneered as it reached out with a large black palm and grabbed forward. Just a few half-step kings, and you dare to show off in front of me? You're courting death. Rumble! The large black palm slapped down, covering the sky and earth with the light of martial arts competition. It looked like the 3 king-killing arrays were about to shatter. At this moment, the peerless experts in the surroundings moved. After setting up the formation just now, they had already activated an extremely terrifying formation. Now that it was activated, heaven and earth immediately collapsed. This formation was called the Eightfold Formation. It was imparted to them by the Crimson Dragon, and was extremely terrifying. There were a total of 3,000 people participating in this formation, and they were all top-notch experts. They split into 8 different directions and quickly activated the formation. Instantly, doors with blinding light appeared in 8 different directions. Terrifying attacks surged out from these doors. In the sky, 8 rays of light lit up like 8 suns, incomparably brilliant. Among them, countless red flames flew out from the southern door, covering the sky and covering the earth. With blazing heat, they collided with the pitch-black hand. Boom! When the two collided, crackling sounds could be heard, and the entire void became extremely distorted. This attack delayed the giant black hand, allowing the 3 kings to successfully escape. Humph! When the heavenly Netherbird saw this, it snorted coldly. The pitch-black hand that covered the sky shone brightly once again. Countless black flames burned and slapped in all directions, extinguishing the terrifying sea of flames. However, at the same time, 7 other bright lights flew out from 7 different directions. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, ice. The 8 elemental energies intertwined in the sky, forming a long rainbow that slashed down fiercely. Boom! 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 In the next moment, the terrifying rainbow slashed down on the black hand, and immediately sent it flying. What? Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. Not only was the heavenly Netherbird surprised, but Lin Xian and the others were also extremely shocked. This was simply too unbelievable. One had to know that the heavenly Netherbird was extremely terrifying. It had reached the late stage of a 2-star king, and even Lin Xian and the others together could not suppress it. However, this mysterious formation had actually sent the heavenly Netherbirds' attack flying. One had to admit that this was simply too shocking. Rosalong, what kind of formation is this? How can it be so magical? Lin Xian was extremely shocked. Eightfold formation, I did not expect it either. The divine dragon and Nai shook his head. The power of this formation had also exceeded his expectations. Subsequently, the crimson dragon seemed to have thought of something, and his eyes were like lightning as he stared straight ahead. In the next moment, he exclaimed, "Damn it, we've been tricked." Tricked? What do you mean? Lin Xian and the others were puzzled and quickly asked. The crimson dragon said, "I thought that he was a late-stage 2-star king, but it seems that he is not. He is not a late-stage 2-star king, but a middle-stage 2-star king." What, you're saying that his strength has weakened? No, he was just bluffing before. I think that he must have used too much energy to break the star chains. Although the chains are no longer suppressing him, the energy in his body has not recovered. Does this mean that we have a chance to kill him? Lin Xian and the others were excited. That's right, this should be a good opportunity. Our chances of winning will increase by 20%. Then what are we waiting for? Let's attack together and kill it! Lin Xian roared as he stood in the void in his astral armor. He held the killing sword in his hand as his black hair fluttered in the wind. His entire being was extremely sharp. Around him were the other 6 kings. Each of them had an imposing aura that made one's heart tremble. At this critical moment, the 7 of them unleashed their full strength and prepared to kill the heavenly Netherbird. The auras of the 7 of them were too powerful. Unparalleled light exploded from each of them, connecting the heavens and the earth. These lights flashed and shot into the clouds, connecting together in the sky. It was like 100,000 mountains, making it hard for everyone to breathe. Subsequently, the 7 kings stepped forward at the same time. Boom! Every step they took caused the heavens and earth to tremble. An extremely terrifying energy surged out from the 7 of them and blasted towards the heavenly Netherbird. This energy was too terrifying. Even the heavenly Netherbird's expression changed. He roared as he slashed the 9 darkness demonic sword towards the sky. At the same time, a low and hoarse voice rang out. 9 darkness demonic sword, turn into flames. With me as the source, I will split open the heavens. This voice was extremely low and carried with it a mysterious energy that made everyone's scalp tingle. Following this voice were countless bolts of black lightning. Kaboom! In the next moment, a huge bolt of black lightning streaked across the sky, piercing through the void and forming a black hole. The black hole did not disappear. Instead, it spun rapidly, forming a black vortex. Countless black flames surged out from the vortex and flew towards the 9 darkness demonic sword. Balls of flames were incomparably black and carried with them a mysterious energy. It was as if they had flown out from hell. The 9 darkness domain around the heavenly Netherbird was also burning. It seemed to have formed a mysterious connection with the black hole. Not long after, the entire 9 darkness demonic sword was enveloped by the black flames. In the next moment, a terrifying aura surged out from the 9 darkness demonic sword. This aura was too terrifying. It was as if it could tear the heavens and earth apart. Everyone's hearts trembled as they could not resist. Die, you ants! The heavenly Netherbird sneered as he waved the 9 darkness mold and slashed out. Chapter 1483. As the sword slashed out, the sky was covered in black flames. A terrifying aura covered the entire area. Boom! In the next moment, the terrifying black longsword clashed with the aura of Lin Xian's group of 7. Instantly, a shocking explosion spread out. A huge black hole appeared from the point of collision and quickly swept across the entire sky. Not good! Retreat! The faces of the Shen family's patriarch, Murong patriarch, and the others changed. They realized that the power of the 7 of them had been split apart by the sword. This was unimaginable. In the next moment, the light curtain around the 7 of them cracked, and they were all sent flying. Among them, one of the king's slaughtering formations was sliced in half by the sword strike. Instantly, the 3 half-step kings turned into blood mist and flew towards the heavenly Netherbird, entering the 9 underworld domain. Even the king-killing array was broken and turned into pure spiritual chi, which was absorbed by the heavenly netherbird. What? How is this possible? Seeing this, everyone's faces changed. Lin Xian's expression was even more serious. He had the starry sky armor and red lotus armor. Although he was sent flying, he didn't suffer any serious injuries. However, the opponent's method shocked him. That sword was too terrifying. Even if he used all his strength, he couldn't block it. He knew that this was due to the difference in realms. A 2-star king was much stronger than a 1-star king. The fact that the heavenly netherbird could absorb energy and recover quickly in the midst of battle was definitely not good news. Kill! Although they were sent flying, Lin Xian's group of 7 quickly stood up and attacked again. This was their only chance. If they couldn't kill the heavenly netherbird this time, they wouldn't have another chance in the future. The battle erupted once again. 7 kings, 2 king-killing arrays, and a terrifying octagonal array. At this moment, they were all attacking the heavenly netherbird. Pun! 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 Terrifying energy surged and blasted on the heavenly netherbbird's body, causing its huge body to be pushed back continuously. Many wounds even appeared on its body. However, Lin Xian's side suffered even more losses. The 7 kings were all injured. As for the 2 king-killing arrays, they had also been destroyed in this battle. Not only that, the energy within the 6 half-step kings and 2 king-level killing arrays were all absorbed by the sky netherbird. Suddenly, the heavenly netherbird's aura became even more monstrous. Like a peerless demon, it spread its wings and blotted out the sun. The next moment, he actually dashed toward the surrounding 8-fold formation. Not good, stop him! Seeing this, the Crimson Dragon's expression changed. It couldn't be helped. Although the octagon formation was powerful and useful, it couldn't withstand the heavenly netherbird's attack. Although the 3,000 people were strong, they were only respectful. With the power of the array, they might be able to fight against the heavenly netherbird. However, if they were to fight head-on, they wouldn't be a match at all. Lin Xian let out a long roar, and the dragon's sword domain around him quickly trembled. Then, a huge body quickly formed and rushed towards the heavenly netherbird. It was a Qiong-Qi whose entire body was formed by lightning. It was incomparably terrifying. With a slight tremble of its huge body, the entire void cracked. With a roar, bright lightning runes appeared on the Qiong-Qi's body. In the next moment, the huge body rushed towards the heavenly netherbird. Although the body was huge, its speed was extremely fast. Like a bolt of lightning, it arrived in front of the heavenly netherbird in an instant. You overestimate yourself. Die! The heavenly netherbird shouted coldly as it flapped its black wings and slashed towards the Qiong-Qi. Pun! An earth-shattering sound rang out. Those black wings were just too sharp. They were like black heavenly blades as they slashed out with a single strike. Instantly, the Qiong-Qi was split in half. The scene was too shocking. Such a terrifying body was split in half by a single blade. Finally, it turned into spiritual qi and scattered in the void. The heavenly netherbird sneered disdainfully, while Lin Xian's expression was grave. He naturally knew that the Qiong-Qi couldn't defeat the other party. Therefore, he didn't stop what he was doing. Soon, a golden heavenly ping flew out from his dragon sword domain. Then, the entire void trembled. A golden figure appeared in the sky, its body emitting a blazing light that dyed the entire sky golden. This heavenly ping was formed by Lin Xian. Although it was condensed from spiritual qi, it looked real and ferocious. Under Lin Xian's control, the golden heavenly ping let out a long roar that tore through the sky. Then, the huge body emitted a blinding light. A terrifying killing intent rushed out from the heavenly ping's body. Then, the golden feathers on its body trembled rapidly, forming rays of golden light one after another. Every single feather seemed to have turned into a golden sword. They were densely packed and pierced through the clouds, tearing through the sky and emitting a cold light. In an instant, the entire sky was filled with golden sword qi. The terrifying killing intent made everyone tremble in fear. 108,000 sword qi, kill! Lin Xian let out a long cry, his expression extremely solemn. In the next moment, the terrifying rain of golden sword chi in the sky fell rapidly. 108,000 sword chi, each of which was 30 meters long, bloomed with light and emitted a terrifying killing intent. The dense rain of sword chi filled the sky palace, forming a rain of sword chi that blasted towards the heavenly netherbird. This method was too terrifying. Even Ancestor Murong and the others' eyelids twitched when they saw this scene. They realized that Lin Xian was too strong. Although he was young, his combat strength had already surpassed them. At the very least, they couldn't use such terrifying sword chi. Moreover, they couldn't fight back against it. However, the heavenly netherbird was different. He wasn't a one-star king, but a two-star king. Therefore, facing such a terrifying sword chi, he launched an angry counterattack. Heaven and earth demonic furnace, burn everything! The heavenly netherbird roared and rubbed the huge 9-darkness demonic sword into his black flame domain. Then, his black flame feathers emitted a black light. Countless black flames danced, quickly twisting and turning, forming a black furnace that was over 10 feet tall. This demonic furnace was pitch black, and mysterious runes were engraved all over it, as if it was something from the demonic realm. In the next moment, the heavenly netherbird waved his claws and slapped the black demonic furnace. Suddenly, the black demonic furnace trembled, and an earth-shattering heat surged out. Boundless flames spread and covered the entire sky. Boom! 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 The black demonic furnace released a sea of flames that clashed with Lin Xian's 108,000 sword chi. The sword chi soared into the sky, and the air waves rolled, drowning the entire sky. Not good! Retreat! Ancestor Murong and the Shin family's ancestors saw this, and their faces changed drastically. They quickly retreated. This energy was too terrifying. Even if they were kings, they couldn't fight back. They could only retreat. Chapter 1484. In the sky, the black flames were extremely powerful. When they collided with the golden sword chi, they started to burn rapidly. In the next moment, the golden sword chi in the sky started to melt like snow in a raging fire. In an instant, the 108,000 golden divine swords in the sky and on the ground were all burned up by the black flames. What? How is this possible? Seeing this, Ancestor Murong and the others were shocked. Lin Xian's face also turned gloomy. There was nothing he could do. A two-star king was too terrifying. Although he had the dragon sword soul, his cultivation was still at the honorable realm. He could not use his full strength. Damn it! Lin Xian was unwilling to accept this. His body moved like lightning as he quickly retreated. In the next moment, a ferocious fire dragon appeared where he was standing and pierced through the void. Humph, kid, you want to fight me? After defeating Lin Xian with one move, the heavenly netherbird snorted in disdain. Then, he held the black furnace in his hand and swept it in all directions. One of the flames hit the octagon formation. Not good! Seeing this, the 3,000 honorables' faces changed. They quickly activated the octagon formation to fight against the heavenly netherbird. But at this moment, the black furnace was too terrifying. Even though the octagon formation was magical, it was still unable to fight against the heavenly netherbird. In the next moment, one of the light doors was shattered. The bodies of the honorables exploded and turned into a bloody mist. Seeing this, the Shin family's ancestor, the happy king and the others roared and wanted to rush over. However, the heavenly netherbird waved his hand and the boundless black flames rushed towards them. Damn it! The Shin family's ancestors sent out the golden giant, and the happy kings sent out 9 lotuses to fight against the black flames. However, a scene that shocked them appeared. Their attacks were actually burning fiercely in the black flames. What? How is this possible? All the kings were shocked and could not believe it. The Shin family's ancestor and the happy king roared and tried to extinguish the black flames. But they could not do it. The black flames burned more and more fiercely. They even floated towards their bodies. Despair appeared in their eyes as they screamed crazily. However, it was useless. At the critical moment, Lin Xian also unleashed a sea of black flames to resist the heavenly Netherbird's 9 nether black flames. Only then did he save the patriarch of the Shen family and the happy king. The kings on Lin Xian's side let out a sigh of relief, but the sky Netherbird was surprised. He didn't expect Lin Xian to have black flames in his hands, and he was very familiar with the aura. It was his 9 nether black flames. The next moment, he understood. This was because Lin Xian had once obtained one of its primordial feathers, which contained its flame origin. Thinking about it, the other party must have obtained his 9 nether black flames by absorbing that feather. Brat, I didn't expect you to be so lucky as to obtain my black flame. But so what? This black flame can only be unleashed to its full potential when combined with my bloodline power. You can't even unleash your full strength. The heavenly Netherbird sneered. It then activated the black furnace and attacked quickly. Boom! 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 The octagon formation was shattered into pieces. The other 7 light gates also exploded. 3,000 peerless sovereigns turned into nothingness, and were all absorbed by the heavenly Netherbird. The flames on the heavenly Netherbird's body surged again, and an earth-shattering power was emitted from its body. Late stage 2-star king! Seeing this, the Crimson Dragon's eyelids twitched. Then, his face turned ugly. It's over, it's over. This guy actually succeeded. He has recovered to late stage 2-star king. Brat, we have no hope. Indeed, the situation was very bad. When it was a mid-stage 2-star king, they already couldn't fight it. Now that it had become a late-stage 2-star king, it was even more impossible for them. Ha ha! After recovering to its peak state, the heavenly Netherbird laughed wildly. Its voice shook the surroundings. The flames on its body surged like a sea, and it was extremely arrogant. In the next moment, it stopped laughing. Its huge head turned and stared at Lin Xian and the others. I will kill you all in a while. Brat, don't worry. I will give you special treatment. I will make you beg for death. The heavenly Netherbird's cold gaze was like a sharp blade as it swept across Lin Xian and the others. Immediately, Ancestor Murong, the happy king, and the others trembled as a trace of fear appeared in their hearts. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon's faces were terrifyingly gloomy. The situation was very bad. Of all the people they had brought, only the 7 of them were left. 3 king-killing formations and 3,000 peerless sovereigns had all been destroyed by the heavenly Netherbird. In the entire sky, there were only 7 kings left. They were the last hope. However, the Crimson Dragon shook his head and sighed. It's over. There's no hope. Brat, let's go. Go? Where to? Lin Xian frowned. Back to the Tianan region. The Sky Martial Continent has no hope. The 7 of us can't fight against a late-stage 2-star king. Unless one of us breaks through to 2-star king, there's no hope. The Crimson Dragon shook his head. The Sky Martial Continent is finished. We can go to the Tianan region. There's the Black Earth ship there. It's incomparably powerful. Even if this heavenly Netherbird is a 2-star king, it can't break through the Black Earth ship. Why don't you cultivate in the Black Earth ship? When you break through to 2-star king, we'll come out. No! Lin Xian shook his head decisively. At that time, there wouldn't be much left of the Sky Martial Continent. Moreover, at that time, the Tianan region would be in a terrible situation. Lin Xian didn't agree at all. One had to know that many of his friends and fellow disciples were in the Sky Martial Continent. Moreover, there were billions of living beings in the Sky Martial Continent. Running was not in line with his character. Seeing Lin Xian shake his head, the Crimson Dragon hurriedly transmitted. What can you do if you stay here? You'll only be killed. You don't want to go to the True Spirit Continent? You don't want to climb to the peak of Martial Dao? Dying here would be too much of a pity. I'd rather die in battle than retreat. Lin Xian's gaze was resolute. If I don't even dare to face this little danger, how will I have the courage to go to the true spirit world in the future? What will I have to climb to the peak of the martial Dao? Don't say any more. Rouzelong, Help me one last time. Lin Xian's voice was firm and sonorous. What are you doing? The Crimson Dragon was worried. Don't mess around. I have a secret art that can gather external energy. You six transfer the energy to me, and I'll go fight the heavenly Netherbird. Lin Xian said. What? That's too dangerous. The Crimson Dragon was shocked. This is the last resort. I have the Dragon Sword Spirit, and my battle power is extremely strong. Only I can face the heavenly Netherbird head-on. Lin Xian was right. Even if the 7 kings teamed up, they still wouldn't be the heavenly Netherbird's match. Moreover, the others couldn't resist that black flame at all. Only he could. Chapter 1485. Everyone, we have no way out. We can only fight with all our might. Lin Xian's voice was sonorous. I will use a secret technique. Please transfer all your energy to me. All right. No problem. We believe in you. At this moment, Ancestor Murong, Dean Xian, and the Happy King all nodded in agreement. They really had no way out. If they failed, the Heavenly Mistake Continent would be destroyed. None of their descendants would be able to escape. Now, they had to believe in Lin Xian. There was no other way. All right. The Crimson Dragon also sighed. If Lin Xian was unwilling to leave, he had no choice but to help him. In the next moment, Lin Xian used a secret technique. The dragon sword realm around him trembled rapidly and emitted a green light. Then, 6 dragon heads appeared in the dragon sword realm. Each of them looked ferocious as they flew in front of the 6 kings. They just had to transfer their energy into them. Ancestor Murong, the Happy King, and Dean Xian nodded and transferred their energy into the dragon heads. However, the Crimson Dragon did not do so. Kid, you just convinced me. I still have some secret techniques, but the side effects are more severe. But since you've decided to fight with your life, I won't hide anymore. I'll fight with you. All right. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. If there was anyone who could fight against the heavenly Netherbird and the black flames, it would be the Crimson Dragon. Wooji Wooji the snow-white monkey also jumped out and waved its paws. You want to join the battle too? All right. Let's fight together. Lin Xian gripped his sword tightly. Seeing that Lin Xian and the others still dared to continue, the heavenly Netherbird was very surprised. But soon, it revealed a disdainful sneer. What? You don't want to run because of your ridiculous morals? What an idiot! Humph, you bastard, you won't understand. For the sake of the world, I'll kill you even if I have to risk my life. Behind them, Ancestor Murong and the Shen family's ancestor roared with all their might. For the sake of the world? How stupid! The heavenly Netherbird sneered in disdain. All right, I'll let the world see what you people are like. I really want to know how the people of the world will react when they see the 7 of you kneeling in front of me. Ha ha! The heavenly Netherbird looked up to the sky and laughed. Then, it flapped its wings and countless black flames shot up into the sky. Damn it, what are you trying to do? Ancestor Murong and the others roared madly. On the other hand, Lin Xian's expression was ice-cold. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. If you dare to lay your hands on ordinary people, I will definitely not let you off. Don't worry, I'm not interested in those ants. The heavenly Netherbird sneered. I just want those people to see your current situation clearly. Sure enough, in the next moment, the black flames in the sky quickly spread out in all directions, forming huge light screens that floated in the sky. On the Martial Heaven continent, everyone knew that Lin Xian's group of 7 had led countless peak experts to kill the Heaven Netherbird. But what was the result? None of them knew. They could only wait patiently because no one dared to watch the battle. In the Murong family, Murong Qingqing was dressed in purple. Her beautiful face was filled with nervousness. To be honest, she was very worried about the ancestor and Lin Xian's safety. However, he wasn't a king yet and couldn't help at all. He could only wait patiently. In the Shen family, Shin Jingxiu was also nervous. Her small hands tightly gripped the corner of her clothes. In Senmu College, countless disciples and young geniuses were waiting silently. They were shouting in their hearts, "Dean Lin Xian, you must succeed." In the Palace of Gods of War, the Ninth Elder and the others were even more nervous. Apart from them, the Merry Woods, Deity Sword Manor and various sects were all praying in their hearts. They hoped that Lin Xian's group of 7 would win. But in the next moment, countless black flames suddenly flew down from the sky. What's that? Everyone was extremely nervous as they stared at the sky. They didn't know where the flames came from, but the aura they emitted made everyone tremble. Many of the House of Kings even activated their defensive array. However, the black flames didn't attack. Instead, they quickly transformed into a light screen in the sky. In the next moment, the figures of Lin Xian's group of 7 appeared on the light screen. What? Is this a battle scene? Everyone was shocked. The elders of the House of Kings were even more shocked. They realized that this was indeed a battle scene, but they didn't know who had created it. At this moment, an ice-cold voice sounded from the black light screen. "Ants, do you really want to know the battle situation? Do you want to know why there are no other kings other than the 7 of them?" Hearing this cold voice, everyone trembled. A trace of fear appeared in their eyes. This was because the voice was filled with the aura of a king. The heavenly Netherbird. Damn it! It's the heavenly Netherbird speaking. A martial artist looked at the light screen and roared crazily. That's right, everyone realized that this was the voice of the heavenly Netherbird. Ha ha! Ants, you've guessed right. It's me. The heavenly Netherbird's sinister voice sounded again. Let me tell you, other than the 7 kings, the rest have all been killed by me. Killed all of them? That's impossible. Everyone was shocked. The martial artists of the House of Kings and the rank 6 sects all screamed. Their eyes were filled with fear. They knew how strong the people that Lin Xian had taken away were. They were the strongest group of experts in the entire Tianwu continent. But now, other than Lin Xian's group of 7, everyone had been killed? This made their brains go blank. They couldn't believe it. Damn it! On the other side, Lin Xian's group heard the heavenly Netherbird's words and their faces turned gloomy. He knew that he couldn't let the other party continue to be arrogant. In the next moment, Lin Xian shouted. His voice was like thunder that spread in all directions. Kill! With a roar, sword chi surged from his body. The dragon sword realm released a bright light as the power of the 5 kings behind him surged into his body. Boom! Lin Xian's body surged with a blazing light as a terrifying aura spread out in all directions. This aura was too strong. With the power of the 5 kings and the great dragon sword soul, Lin Xian was extremely strong at this moment. His battle strength had reached the level of a 2-star king. What? He can combine the power of the other 5 and use it for himself? The heavenly Netherbird's pupils shrank. To be honest, he didn't expect Lin Xian to have such a technique. But soon after, he sneered and a trace of disdain appeared in his eyes. Even if the 5 of them combined their power, so what? At most, they would only have the strength of a 2-star king. On the other hand, he had the strength of a 2-star king. The difference between them was like heaven and earth. Kid, I have to say that you have some skills. But in front of me, it's useless. Chapter 1486. Kill! However, Lin Xian was not moved at all. He had obtained the power of the 5 king tiers, and at this moment, he had become extremely powerful. With the dragon-shaped sword in his hand, he looked like a god of swords. 108,000 swords, kill! Lin Xian roared and the dragon sword domain shook as a golden heavenly rock charged out. The feathers on its body turned into countless golden swords. This time, the golden swords were several times stronger than before. That was because Lin Xian's strength had reached an unimaginable level. In the next moment, Lin Xian waved his arm. Instantly, tens of thousands of golden swords slashed down from the sky. Boom! 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 Each sword was as thick as a mountain and as heavy as Mount Tai as they slashed down on the heavenly Netherbird. Tens of thousands of swords clashed. Terrifying energy spread out in all directions. What? So strong! At this moment, countless cultivators on the sky martial continent looked up and saw the battle through the screen in the sky. When they saw Lin Xian summon 108,000 golden swords to kill the Sky Nether bird, their blood began to boil. Shocking! Too shocking! Originally, they were wondering why Lin Xian was sent out. Among the 7 kings, although Lin Xian was strong, he was too young. He had just condensed his king domain. As for the others, whether it was the Murong ancestor, the Shen family ancestor, or the other kings, they were all famous kings. They had been in the king realm for hundreds of years. Logically speaking, the chances of victory would be higher if these old kings were sent out. However, now that Lin Xian had made his move, they understood. Powerful! He was simply too powerful. Lin Xian's methods had exceeded all of their imaginations. In the sky, countless golden swords turned into golden dragons that roared as they flew forward. They instantly enveloped the heavenly Netherbird. This was an extremely terrifying scene. 108,000 golden swords connected the heavens and the earth as they slashed down in all directions. The terrifying aura shattered the entire sky. The heavenly Netherbird roared, "Ant, you're courting death!" Then black flames surged all over his body as he counterattacked. The heavenly Netherbird waved its black claws and wings and quickly counterattacked. Bam bam bam! Black claws smashed the golden swords into pieces. Then, the heavenly Netherbird flapped its wings and charged towards Lin Xian with its huge body. This was a very terrifying scene. Amidst the rain of swords that filled the sky, a huge body was rampaging. Every time they collided, there would be an earth-shattering explosion, blasting open one black hole after another in the void. On the martial heaven continent, the martial artists who saw this scene through their screens all shuddered, their scalps turning numb. Frightening, this was too frightening. Although they were not at the scene, they could feel the shocking power of the energy just from the image. Sword chi filled with terrifying killing intent swept across the heavens and earth. The heavenly underworld bird unleashed boundless black flames that ignited the golden swords. Not to mention the ordinary warriors, even the 5 kings behind Lin Xian felt their eyelids twitching in disbelief. The reason for that was because that sort of attack had already surpassed what they could endure. Any one of the sword chi could severely injure them. However, such a terrifying attack could not do anything to the heavenly Netherbird. To be honest, the heavenly Netherbird was also shocked because the sword chi was a great threat to her. This was too unbelievable. Even if her opponent had fused with the power of 5 kings, he was only at the early stage of 2 stars. However, his combat strength had already surpassed that. He couldn't help but be shocked. "Kid, go and die!" The heavenly Netherbird roared as it soared through the sky. Its huge wings were like black heavenly blades that directly shattered countless golden swords. It was like a black demonic mountain that wanted to crush Lin Xian. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was wielding the dragon-shaped sword in his hand. He slashed out one shocking sword aura after another. The sword chi was too terrifying. The shocking power caused the sky to tremble. Even though the heavenly Netherbird was a demonic beast with a strong body, it could not withstand it. "Ah! Go and die!" The heavenly Netherbird roared as the 9 underworld demonic flames burned around it. It turned into countless demonic shadows that quickly pounced forward. These demonic shadows looked similar to the heavenly Netherbird, but they were much smaller. However, there were too many of them. There were more than 10,000 of them. The entire sky was dyed black, as if it was a dark cloud. Roar! 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 Countless demonic shadows roared furiously. Carrying a terrifying aura and surging murderous aura, they quickly charged towards Lin Xian. They were like a black flood that intertwined in the sky and emitted a terrifying energy fluctuation. If this energy fluctuation hit him, even if Lin Xian had fused with the power of 5 kings, he would not be able to withstand it. Kill! Seeing the demonic shadows getting closer, Lin Xian roared as his black hair fluttered in the wind. Terrifying sword sheaths swept across the sky. The dragon-shaped sword in his hand turned into a killing sword. Together with the dragon sword realm, it slashed forward. Pung pung pung. The sword she was like a rainbow as it flew across the sky one after another. It was endless like a long river. The sword she had fused with the power of the great dragon sword's soul and was extremely strong. It slashed at the countless demonic shadows and tore them apart. Suddenly, a huge crack was torn open in the dark sky. It was at least 10,000 meters wide and was extremely terrifying. Countless rays of light shone in from the crack. Then, Lin Xian clenched his other hand into a fist and punched out. The terrifying fist swept across the sky and shattered the black light barrier. Explode! More than 10,000 demonic shadows were torn apart at this moment. The sky regained its clarity. However, in the next moment, the heavenly netherbird had already arrived beside Lin Xian. Its huge claws were like demonic claws as they viciously clawed at Lin Xian. Humph! Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He did not resist at all. He quickly retreated with the dragon-shaped sword. He turned into a green afterimage and instantly disappeared into the void. Boom! A pitch-black hole appeared where he was originally standing. Countless spatial cracks spread out in all directions. Let's see how many times you can dodge! The heavenly netherbbird's expression was cold as its attack missed. At this moment, the crimson dragon could no longer watch and finally made its move. With a furious roar, a terrifying dragon roar pierced through the 9 heavens, causing the entire sky to tremble. Then, his body emitted an incomparably bright light, and the endless red light dyed the entire sky red. Stupid bird, Ben Huang will beat you up today! The crimson dragon bared its fangs and brandished its claws in anger. Just you? A 4-legged snake? You overestimate yourself! The heavenly netherbird snorted in disdain. It was now a late-stage 2-star king. It was unparalleled and no one in the entire continent could surpass it. Therefore, it was not afraid of the crimson dragon at all. However, the crimson dragon was infuriated. Damn you! You're the 4-legged snake! I'll tear your mouth apart today! Then, its body suddenly expanded and turned into a 100-foot-long divine dragon that circled in the sky. With a roar, it shook the 9 heavens. Endless clouds gathered under its feet. Legends said that divine dragons could ride the clouds and summon the rain. It seemed like it was true. Dragon race! The heavenly netherbird was shocked once again. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.